really, and that makes it really exciting situations. Now, I'm liking the approach here from Cloud9, just taking everybody up long. If they can just get a couple kills at least, which it looks like MIBR aren't just kind of turtling up here, so there could be some opportunities here for Cloud9. But with that said, MIBR's, they have all the info at this point, so they are pretty well equipped to know what to deal with it.
Oh, the spam deagle almost kills Cello. Instead, it's Cloud9 using that smoke to cross all the way to the site, fighting their way through CT. Bolt's only here for one. Cello trying to retake from the short side. Danico holding strong drops the bomb. And even though Cloud9 actually got control of the site, never clearing out the dumpster player, they couldn't plant for CT. They try and hunt him down, and they lose the bomb. Mezzi is on a recovery mission to B. I like the idea. He knew he was being hunted, tries to kill Yell, but loses his life in the process. Maybe a B plant was available instead, but either way, it's an eco here for Cloud9. And despite that cool idea of throwing that close long smoke, cutting off the two toilet players that can't deny the plant, well, Cloud9 had denied any ground in CT.
See, I know the pistol round was a few ago now, but for anyone watching along, I think this is why on overpass, especially in pugs, pro game is more forgivable, I think. I hate going B in a T side pistol on this map. It feels like it's so standard nowadays to have, 1A early, watch, try and get info, and then you stack B under the idea that, if they rush, they're running into 4. If they go A, exactly what you were just saying, Dan, about how, because this map is kind of so long, there's a lot of area of engagement before you actually get to that A bomb site. There are ways that you can get that information at a pretty low risk and then rotate players around accordingly. I'm just never a fan of immediate B plays to begin an overpass game for that reason, right? We saw what happens. You run into a 4-man stack and a pistol round, you're pretty screwed if someone on your team doesn't have some incredible individual performance there. But now we have the buy round back in, and the AWP's ready to go head-to-head right away.
Yeah, what's interesting here as well is that, MIBR opted to just hold on to a lot of their utility. They haven't really thrown very much at the start of the rounds. And again, oftentimes at the start of the round, you could see even 2 smokes, 2 or 3 mollies thrown in the first 10 seconds for the CTs. So instead what we got was Yell went for an aggressive pick towards Fountain. And that kind of does a similar job. It's obviously not quite as good, but it does create a lot of question marks for the Ts because they have to think, okay, do they have a setup in bathrooms? Do they have a setup around connector? Is there something going around on long? And so on and so forth. So it does burn a lot of time, and they are still holding on to a lot of utility here. So MIBR are really winning the utility game, and that means that if Cloud9 try to set piece onto a site, if MIBR know it's coming, they should be able to have a huge advantage just with the extra grenades alone. So really well poised here with this initial approach from MIBR. We'll have to see though if Cloud9 can just use the brute force and circumvent that.
Oh, Cello, so blind. But the lack of gunfire has actually rewarded him. He gets away with that freebie onto Zeppa. And now the rest of Cloud9 grouping up outside of the B side. Well, they've got their work cut out for them, I think it's fair to say. You've still got 2 players here for MIBR, more players rotating down. So these guys that do exist here now as the incumbent forces just need to hold on. And they've done a good job at that. The rotations have come through, and there it is, the lock-in for MIBR. I don't know, man. I think when you look at the individuals in this team, it is a very, very scary matchup for Cloud9. I mean, I'm kind of basing that on the fact of, the stats that I've seen and the bits of games that I caught, like you guys covering. But, MIBR, they're this very explosive team that they try to keep you on your toes a lot. There's a lot of talent here, right? A lot of individuals who can step up. We've had games where Yell top frags with the AWP while cooling. That normally benefits the team massively. You've had great games out of Cello as of late, right? Thinking back to yesterday in that little head-to-head. That was one there where he was trying to carry them to victory versus Heroic. Then you've also got Danico as the young blood, right, who we've had great stuff from. Oh, these flashes devastate the man over at Monster, and that's clean. All right, you shouldn't be getting away with this if you're Cloud9. Yell's trying to restore some normality. on the short wrap. He's got it down to a 3-on-4. Cello arriving as well at the monster side. Cloud9, they don't want to throw this away, but they might not have any choice in the matter as it's slowly but surely turning back in favor of MIBR. They get it locked in, and it's Yell right at the end with 4 in a spectacular little sequence to get 5 on the board for MIBR.
I feel like Cloud9 could have made so much more of that round. They did everything perfectly. They run in, they get those 2 opening kills, they smoke off the AWP on short, and then they just start taking fights. It's like you have a huge advantage. You can plant that bomb, play tight angles, force MIBR to commit. They're on a double AWP on a retake, 2 men down. Cloud9 just chase the fights with pistols, and yeah, okay, sure, if you win the fights, then no problem, but they get mopped up, and not even a bomb plant. Like, yeah, they don't need the money, but it would have been nice to get them in a position to convert the round. This time, faster approach. They get a pick B, they trade 1 for 1, and they bail. Bomb was spotted, Zeppa was tagged low, and so Cloud9 don't want to commit, and that's a understandable rotate. Now, it's going to feel pretty obvious where this one's ending to MIBR, right? If you don't take the B rush while you've got it, surely you're going back to A.
Yes, it's been interesting because, again, like, in that last gun round, MIBR held on to smokes they dropped smokes at the 20-second mark because they've been holding on to them. So clearly they've decided that like Cloud9 play generally slower paces and they can hold on to their util. And I like this from Cloud9. They force the issue, go really fast, and there's a huge dump from MIBR. But Yell's trying to creep up the ladder, gets a lot of info. The problem is that's not a great timing to get info in this case because there's a minute left. There's still plenty of time from Yell, getting that info for Cloud9 to be able to rotate towards A. So they can just sit here now if they're in it for quite a while, and that should create a lot of doubt for the MIBR defense. And they only have 1 smoke left. It's on Danica. He's also got the AWP, and he's on the A site. So there's no way for MIBR to slow down this push into the B site. It's got to be done on the setup, and that's not a great way to start things off. It's going to have to be a huge series of kills from Cello. They don't see him. This could be it. Great start from Cello. Finds a quick double. And that is really amazing that they didn't check that because that was everything.
Yeah, especially the back railing boost. Alex has a plant here, 10 seconds, he's going to stick it. He can go for heaven as well. He can try and take that CT control, play it from a range, but he knows the fight might be near. Oh, faced by Cello immediately and nowhere to go but the site. Yeah, that's, the info, like you said, was not, I guess, in one hand, like, sort of not valuable because there's a minute left, but what it did give Yell was the knowledge that Zeppa was walking B. Like, he could see him walking to T-spawn. So that, from B, rush denied, back to mid, back to B, Cloud9 didn't want to make it obvious, and in doing so, they get spotted. So, yeah, MIBR set up for that nice double play of the monster. Cello gets a lot done, and then closes the round as well. Very good patience for him to just give it up, respect the bomb plant from Alex, and win the 1v1. 6-0. MIBR looking very good right now. Cloud9, pistols, rifles can come through. They're taking their time to buy, discussing how they want to disperse.
I do think like the fast control, I think might be quite a good response from what MIBR started with. I don't know if MIBR will change their CT approach because this could also be a good time to actually start changing it. But I would love to see fast sewers control because it's not extremely difficult to do that, and especially if we don't get those early nades from the CT side, which you'd often expect, the Molotovs and smokes, and then it should be pretty easy to take it and fairly low risk, and it's going to create a lot of pressure. So you're going to you'll create an argument for MIBR to at least dump some utility. Because again, they've been pretty resistant to doing that in some of the previous gun rounds. So let's see if this is any different. Well, it looks like it is. We can get a forward Molotov there. The classic T-steps Molotov. And they're going to hold a setup around bathrooms. This is looking great from MIBR. They're really trying to run quite a diversity of approaches. Ooh, that's nasty. What an off angle there from Bolts.
Yeah, that's juicy. And look at that, MIBR. This is like a great CT side. They're really doing everything they can to whittle down Cloud9 and then just fall back into these horribly passive setups where it's like, yeah, look, you're gonna have to waste all this time clearing the bathrooms, clearing all these mid angles. We ain't even there, mate. You're in a 3-on-5. We've fallen back into the site. Rotations, they're on standby. Bit of a tag either which way, but it ultimately favors MIBR even further. Flash over, trying to set up this man in the toilets. He's playing around this smoke right now. Cello hidden in it. He loves these smoke pushes, does Cello. And with the re-smoke going down, that should really seal the deal. Like, yeah, why would we smoke our own guy off again? Well, clearly you ain't faced Cello before, mate. This guy lives and breathes in the smoke. He's now going to come through on the wrap, and he's got the last kill locked in. It's nice, it's clean, it's what, 4 alive for the side of MIBR?
5 alive.
5 alive, rather.
4 for bolts as well.
Man.
Double in con and then double on the site as Cello backstabs the last man. Really nice play from MIBR so far. And they were just stacked up on A as well, right? They've been fully cognizant of where Cloud9 are committing, even when Cloud9 try and fake things out and deny that information. MIBR have been very good at reading this CT side so far. 7-0. C9 back in with a low econ round. They got the smokes and the pistols. Cello fighting a smoke in mid, unsurprising, but not much to be given away. That's a nice shot. Outside of B though, oh, that's a bomb in Monster. Danica just tearing them with the AUG. He's really been using this gun a lot. He had a lot of really nice transfers with that weapon on the opening day. I think it was the second day rather. Opening day was heroic, second day. And yeah, like really, really talented player for someone who's relatively unknown coming into this team.
Man, there's 11 kills on all of Cloud9, and there's 11 kills on Danico and Bolts individually for the side of MIBR. This is incredibly one-sided.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of it is just because MIBR's approach is so awesome. Again, if we do have that forward Molotov, it has to be burned out with the smoke, and that's going to allow Cloud9 to get forward positioning, and that also allows them to understand that, you know, what MIBR are doing a little bit better. You can see things will slow down here as they start to default a little bit. You've got, you know, Floppy, who's sort of the lurk towards the A side of the map, and Mezzi's just sitting in connector right now, whilst his teammates, you know, in that little grouping of 3, work towards bathrooms. It is such a labored effort on Overpass to gain control, and they're going to go down. I think this is just a clearance, isn't it? Yeah. I was wondering if we were going to see them just move into some sewers pressure together, try to pull some rotations. A minute to go, and MIBR have a couple smokes remaining, so that they're on a pretty good pace in terms of that. Ooh, Cello loves to play these games around the smokes, man.
Yeah, he jumped on that little bin as well. I've never seen anyone do that. That's ballsy. Got spammed though. Nades could be good, but dodged well by S-Tag, and Cloud9 walking down B right now through the connector. Not going to get spotted. Only 2 players lower right now. Re-aggro on mid for MIBR. If Cello goes through this smoke, firstly, he's crazy. Secondly, he's going to get all this information. I think they're going to realize too little too late, though. Shuz needs to hold strong. Flash for the Monster side coming through. Oh, he's mollied out, though. Great flashes. Everyone's white inside of B, and everyone's dead, which certainly helps. Cloud9 looking for their first.
One thing that I think is really interesting about this round is that, you know, this round Cloud9, you know, played slower, but they created a more confusing situation for MIBR because they had that pressure around bathrooms, and they also had sewers control. So I'd like it if we saw MIBR trying to take more control around sewers, maybe make more plays around there, or try to create some kind of efforts like towards a long setup or something that kind of allows them, whilst Cloud9 are playing really slow, to actually themselves get some information and possibly make a play off of. Because, you know, what they tried here was to just play very passively, just try to slow Cloud9 down as much as they can, and try to have as much utility remaining as possible when they actually do execute, and just hope that there's just not much time left, which is, you know, how they won a couple of their rounds. So we'll see if there's any kind of change there, because I think this is a great adaptation from Cloud9.
Oh yeah, so something else, you know, we were surprised by the vetoes in this, is that like we were sat here saying, yeah, this doesn't make a lot of sense as to how this has panned out. That's because actually I think they were backwards, and yeah, you know, happens to the best of us, you know, but yeah, this is Cloud9's map pick, as it says on the screen. It got updated on all this, but just wanted to clarify for when we did the map vetoes.
Yeah, makes sense why they're not banning their best map.
I was thinking like, yeah, nuke out for Cloud9, all right, that's a weird one. Don't see that every day, ever, actually, but No, yeah, it was MIBR banning it. This is Cloud9's pick, which therefore makes this 1-8 scoreline that much rougher, it would feel like. Here comes this push into the B site from Floppy, and he tries to go deep in, but he ends up going deep down. It's now Danico trying to line them up. Only good for a bit of damage, and Bolts is also brought down low, so he's calling for rotates, he's calling for help. Some assistance from this A bomb site, and they are arriving slowly but surely. The Molotovs slowing them down.
.40 seconds, MIBR go quiet. Bolts picks up a kill from CT in Graffiti. Alex is trying to spam. He could get that kill. He's so low, but so are Cloud9. The bomb loose in the water right now. Alex not even going for it. This feels like a done round. Surely they're going to try and go for frags as Alex peels back. S-Tag pushes in, and it's all on one man and one man alone. They molly the bomb. Alex shoots, and that's it. It's MIBR cleaning it up on B, slowing it down at the right time and peeling out of the site. 9-1. Cloud9 can't commit with the bomb so far forward.
This is such a great CT side from MIBR so far. I think it's they're doing a lot of that classic overpass CT stuff where it's like, you're going to feel our presence everywhere. It's going to take you ages. It's like you're walking through the mud to like get to a bomb site, and then when you eventually do, we've got the info we need, and we've had the ability to make the plays along the way as well. So we're always kind of like a step ahead. And once again, we're going to see actually this time more pressure around the sewers, but actually it's going to be a smoke from Floppy to gain entrance to sewers. Obviously you can play around the smoke as well, but it can be a little bit scary if there's a CT push. He's been basically lurking this consistently in the default by himself, which is something that MIBR, if they understood that, they could easily take advantage of this and just take sewers control for, and it would be pretty, it wouldn't be very risky to do so, as it is just Floppy doing everything by himself.
Yeah, look, they hear him down and short, and now they're getting more aggressive over here in middle. Cello so close to discovering Zeppa, and there's the swing. Zeppa caught over in mid. No one's able to get the trade, and that is a huge problem, man. Like, Cloud9, so often they lose a player, and then MIBR are allowed to fall back into these bomb sites and just play the numbers game, right? If you're MIBR, if you trade this effectively, you win the round. Like, that's it. That's the lock-in. So that means now you're hinging on someone on Cloud9 getting a multi-kill, creating this space. Yell getting aggressive could have been that opener, but instead, just a little bit of damage onto him before he repositions. There's 3 up inside of that A site right now, and Cello's extended the lead even more. Yeah, they lose Yell. You've still got this double hold, still 2 players in B as well. And so as Cloud9 group up and try and move into this B bomb site, they've got their work cut out for them. They're still walking into a double stack. There's the first attention getting drawn into Danico, and now they might not be ready for Shuz, who takes the head off of Alex. MIBR up to 10. This CT side looking real crisp. And I mean, just even the scoreboard tells like a real story here, right? Everyone on MIBR is kind of pulling their weight, all stepping up. The fact that so many of these kills are going untraded is a huge problem for Cloud9. It goes from like bad to worse, it feels like, because they'll lose one, and then when everyone's kind of getting a bit hectic, rotating background to take up that position to make sure MIBR aren't doing anything cheeky, MIBR are always repositioning, getting away with, like a 2-for-1, which is great. Yell's getting pressured in mid. He's got to have a standout performance. They're all around him. Disappears in the smoke, and how's he still alive? He goes for the jump shot, but it doesn't connect. It's a little bit ballsy, and that ends up costing him his life. However, the round should still be a lock-in. That nade forces Mezzi forward, but he does get out of there for the time being. There it is. Shuz at short into lock-in that round for MIBR. And the dominance continues 11-1 over Cloud9.
Honestly, it's like playing pinball right now, like wherever Cloud9 go, they're just getting knocked between one site and the other, like running back and forth between connector. Oh, pushed out of A, pushed out of B. Nowhere is safe. Tic-tacs straight from the box. Damn. Things are going wild in the MIBR camp right now, and they are looking very, very good indeed. Nowhere is safe for Cloud9. Can barely get out mid. The AWP shotgun close in the smoke. Bolts is getting so many multi-kills as well. This is going to be very hard for Cloud9 to get anything done in 11-1.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a learning experience, I think, in some respects. I think MIBR have done a really good job in like mixing up the ways that you effectively play CT overpass. I think, you know, Cloud9 have a good overpass game, and a lot of it is their CT side, as it is for a lot of teams. So they need to get at least like a couple more rounds on the board to give themselves some chance to kind of do the same. But Cloud9 don't play as, I would say, as advanced as what MIBR are doing. Cloud9 do what they do very, very well, but they tend to just rely on more passive play from what we've seen so far. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to pan out, if they have any other things they've been working on that we'll see. But yeah, 11-1, a comfortable scoreline. And again, it feels like MIBR just have such a good approach as a team right now, and they keep throwing different paces, different sets of utility at Cloud9. Sometimes they go for just dry peaks. So you know, in that sense, MIBR are constantly surprising Cloud9, which in of itself kind of creates a delay, because you as Cloud9 are feeling like anything's possible from the CTs at any given moment. So you have to take caution. You have to be cautious at all times. So interestingly, we'll get the 3-man long take. And there's actually 2 players towards Monster here. You can see Floppy's pretty deep. He's got Alex for support. Bomb's still down towards T-spawn. It's a great pickup from Mezzy towards bathrooms. And, oh, okay, they've got a lot to work with now. 5v3, getting the bomb. They can't push off of that because they have to get the bomb first. But a 5v3 with 30 seconds left. It's looking pretty good here for C9.
Yeah, surely this is a second round. That's what you're telling yourself if you're C9 at this point. You know, you need everything you can get, and you just got to get past one man inside of B. If it's not a big performance here out of SHC, it's probably just the save that Molly forces him out into the open, and Zeppa trades it right away. Now, there are these fast rotates at short. Oh, they're going to try to deny the bomb plant. There's the swing in. Oh. And while they get 1 kill on Danico, it's not fast enough to deny that bomb. So Cloud9 do get that second. MIBR, you know, you understand why they go for that. The money is so good for MIBR that they can afford to soak that up. It was high risk, but high reward. And if they did deny that bomb plant, would have been the round.
Yeah, happy to see that they've actually gotten at least another round on the board, so we have something to work with in the second half. Another one obviously would be great. It just gives you the ability to survive a pistol and the consequences of winning or losing it. So again, it's this time actually a different approach again from MIBR. They've actually gone very, very passive towards A, and we have Danico, who's got that AUG looking, has that angle into sewers. Cloud9 has slowed down their default a little bit though, and they're trying to make it look similar. And MIBR don't have forward information, so this it looks like Cloud9 could hit a surprising timing towards B here, because they're really going against some of those default timings, where at this point they still just have Floppy here by himself, but instead it's the entire team.
Oh yeah, here it is. Fast pace and already in. Danico gonna have to help Shuz with this crossfire. There's the first from Bolts, drawing the attention in. The AUG lighting them up, and this B play, well, they might have hit a timing that looked all right. That didn't matter. They won 1 out of the 3 gunfights they had. A big performance there from the players on MIBR in the site, right, to actually hold that one back. And you know, that's kind of a situation where we're trying to not telegraph the play, trying to just flash yourself in and go for the Hail Mary, really comes back to hurt them. You know, one of the reasons that last round ended up working was because they forced SHZ out of the barrels with the Molotov and into the open. You know, we would have been able to do a lot more, as we saw right there, if not mollied. And so they try to throw the Molotov in late. That means you've got 1 less player with a gun out. You know, you're trying to throw the utility once you've actually made it into the site, so as to not telegraph it any sooner. And yeah, it comes back to punish C9. So great half for MIBR, already locked in. It can only get better. And they've already started this round with the man advantage to boot.
Yeah, boot in the face. Oh dear. Curb stop as well. Cello, Bolts, everyone finding frags. It's only Messi, and he's not long for this world either. 13-2. It's Cloud9's map pick, although you wouldn't know it. Boy, oh boy, let's hope they can do something, anything, maybe a pistol in the second half, or this could be a sweep of a series straight to the playoffs. Join us in just a moment for the second half.
Welcome back, everybody, to CS Summit 007. What a performance we have here from MIBR. This is the first map against Cloud9, and their CT side was remarkably good. It was just some textbook overpass shenanigans, and Cloud9 now need to replicate what MIBR did. I don't know if they can do it. It's going to take a lot, and especially after coming off of a beating, you got to get yourself warm, I feel like. And, well, to begin with, we have this like very forward setup right in the center of the map, actually, which allows Cloud9 to respond quickly to pretty much anything. I like this as well. MIBR trying to get some info here, running around along the bathrooms, making a lot of noise. And there we go. Now Floppy's going to reveal himself. That's pretty stunning. And, okay, MIBR, not looking good here. 2 versus 5. Oh, this is suboptimal. If you
they can't mess this up, right? The crossfire is pretty good. Oh, yeah, phew. Whew. Sigh of relief. Cloud9 now, how many rounds will they give us? All the rounds, maybe, if they have their way. MIBR want to end it ASAP. Might even be forcing. No bomb plant, but tempting always. Really nice shots from Floppy, man. He really is good in this team. I feel like he's every game I see, he's doing something unnatural. Disallowed. Out mid, Molly, and smoked it. Alex is playing behind the bin. This is a spot. But yeah, he doesn't want to remain there forever. Careful with the party, they can walk right over you. Got support from Mezzi in the connector as well, but he'll be backing up. They'll go towards the A site. They know MIBR in middle, just holding with the Deagles right now. Nice and patient play for MIBR. See if Cloud9 give them anything here. Take what you can get. Oh, I like that way of gaining info. Now, the windows in the overpass toilets were removed a long time ago. Many people still ask for boosts in your matchmaking games. Remind them that you can't do that. But Mezzi's jumping off of the bench and still spotting above Divider. Not seen that way of doing it before. Now tucked and waiting. MIBR coming A. It's more a matter of when, not if.
I hope they spam Divider. I think it's such a... I don't know, man. I feel like you should always give this wall a little spam, because even if you don't get... They're doing it. They're doing it.
From a weird angle, though.
Yeah, even if you don't get the kill, right, you at least pressure the guy there. Also, the blood splatters through the wall, so it's like a dead giveaway. You know the moment you've tagged someone there. Batman is still using it, and MIBR not abusing it. They get shut down in this one. It is just one man left alive in the form of Bolts, and he's taken out of the round, so that's nice. It's clean, it's quick, and it's Cloud9 on to 4. No money left for MIBR, so 5 rounds should be right around the corner here for Cloud9. Still a long ways to go to make this comeback be even close to achievable, but you've at least started the baby steps needed to get you on the way there.
Right. So, I mean, one thing I want to look out for is to see if Cloud9 change anything on their CT side. But obviously, we haven't really run into the 4x versus 4x just yet. And this is a great start for C9 to just get off to a great footing in a game where they can't make any mistakes now. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing, are they going to run this like really passive CT setup that they were kind of consistently doing in previous matches, where they rely pretty heavily on just kind of hitting the shots and playing really effective defense, but allowing the T side to really get lots of control towards the sites pretty easily. And we'll see if that trade-off works out this time for them as well. But for now, obviously, we have MIBR just trying to waste some time, trying to waste some utility, see if they can get another cheeky kill or two. Oh, hello. Denied.
Where that came from. Oh, there's something for Yell, but surely can't grab the gun. They can aggro short. MIBR just delaying the inevitable. Look at Yell, he's flanking A. He's actually forcing rotations up because he's very loud on his run. And so Mezzi's got to move, even though the bomb is dropped. Monster. Shiz with the weapon. Oh, that nails this shot, but he is dead. Yell's just looking for a kill, and he gives away his position. Mezzi can just run. 15 seconds, no bomb. Oh,
Yell needs to die.
Yeah, he needs to die, and Mezzi will at least give him that.
So now this is where the going gets tough, right? You got this first buy round. Cloud9, if they are ever going to embark on this comeback, you know, getting ahead in this first rifle is a must. They're going to be running a little bit of a bonus, right? I say that. It's just the one FAMAS, or two FAMASes kept in, rather. AWP in the hands of Alex as well. So we get to see that head-to-head of him versus Yell. Double con stack here for Cloud9. MIBR, they've had to contend for con a hell of a lot, so this is something they should be ready for, right? Maybe not the double stack, but they know that Cloud9 have frequently had players in the connector. MIBR being very, very slow on the approach. These con players could get stuck, and that's the real worry, right? SHZ, can we see his perspective quick? I'd love to see what kind of a line he's taking here, because it looks like he's just hanging around on the left-hand side, keeping these connector players trapped down in con.
Are they pushing a smoke or something? They're very deep. Oh no, they're up on top of the boost stairs. Alex picks Danico out mid, and Shiz might try and activate, but Alex's back is covered. He's actually might cover it himself. It's on a timing. Doesn't want to be caught looking down with nades out. This is a very risky move for Alex. Mezzi is there, but now the jig is up. They know there's two players con side. The molly into a smoke. The flash pops, and back up Shiz goes. Very weird turn of events right now. Cloud9 allowed to escape down B. Bomb dropped up in the toilets. S-Tag escaping. There's no one out long, though. He's just got to worry about these short side players, and he's doing a great job of dealing with them one by one. FAMAS v the AK somehow coming out on top. Lots of off angles taken, and finally his head is removed as well.
Interesting round. Okay, well, it's going to work out really well for Cloud9, though.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
they kill after time, maybe, possibly.
it's a little bit weird. I think MIBR gave them too much respect there, right? They knew they had those two players stuck in connector like that. That should feel like a gold mine, you know, that you're able to kind of exploit a little bit and use that to get an advantage. I mean, even if you went to connector and you trade like evenly, right, and you end up in a 3-on-3, that's still hugely advantageous to MIBR there. But instead, you know, the first player falls. The other guys that were in mid actually just peel back and kind of sit around and don't really do anything. They had a B player that was holding originally, like watching Monster. I thought he was going to swing around and help out at holding the connector fullback right out towards short, which, as we saw, is what Cloud9 ended up doing. But instead, he also just went back to T-spawn. SHZ died down in con. It felt like, you know, there wasn't really the response, like an appropriate response to turning that idea that Cloud9 had into an advantage for MIBR. I thought they would have been better at capitalizing on that information that you've got that double stack to contest with, because they also had lots of utility. That's something else to bear in mind, right? Admittedly, when they start losing players, it gets a bit more dire, but even then they had like two nades. You know, if you double nade into connector, those two players are low like immediately. There's not really much they can do about it, and so suddenly that could have been a way to get into that round, like turning an advantage that Cloud9 have against them. But instead, it was very, very slow. I think way too much respect given, especially with how dominant this first half was. And so now MIBR maybe going to try something a little bit faster, and I think this is the right time to give this a go. You know, I think you don't want Cloud9 to warm back up into this game, and something a bit more decisive with a bit more speed, a bit more punch behind it might be the perfect solution.
It's a very nice read from Alex as well. He threw in the mid Molotov that Danico smoked and threw a flash over to fake that MIBR are going out mid. Alex didn't fall for it. He immediately rotates B in expectation. Nice grenade stack. Zeppa getting dunked down monster. That provides openings for Bolts to get out through this position. He's so low. Floppy, same story on barrels. No Molotov to get him out. And Alex is providing cover, baiting for his teammate who hides now down in the water. Alex goes back for more. Very confident on this AWP. We talk about how this is a new role for him, but it looks very natural. He's comfortable. Can he hit these shots though? Two coming, maybe even the lineup. MIBR is just drawn to a halt. Nice shot from Alex. Yell picks up Floppy in the meantime though. Alex still with two players to deal with. Another shot and 1v1 versus the AWPer. He's posted. He sees him leave. And Alex has no reason to move off this angle. 6-13, Cloud9 slow and steady, but clawing it back.
Yeah, Alex has been really a revelation, I think, on the AWP so far. It's such a new role for him, and I think he's been doing a really great job. I think we talked about it. I mean, we've been talking about it constantly, I guess, because we're seeing Cloud9 every day, but it feels like he's really applied his own sort of style to it, like his own flair on top of, what does my team need, as opposed to really trying to copy any formulas. And of course, he's worked with some of the best AWPers in the business. Of course, most notably, Zywoo. So he really understands, I think, the role and what it's capable of, and the different ways you can play it and around, your teammates. And he's just looking super steady with it too. Like he hits the shots, and he's not afraid to find those off timings for those quick picks that can be very pivotal before like a push comes in or something. So it's really encouraging to see them have a good start here. And it's going to be interesting also to see whether or not MIBR can find some way to kind of get rid of the economy of Cloud9, because that's really what's going to be, I think, to me, once they can get the AWP out of their hands, Alex, they're going to be good to go. It's a great little push from Cloud9, and it's pretty cool again because in their past matches they played a very, very passive style, so trying to adapt as well to their opponent and be unpredictable. Also, you got to throw out the aggression every so often. You have to keep those questions in your opponent's head.
Ooh, well, gonna try and attempt a B play, and they get past the first map, but not the second. Still two here to worry about. Zeppa and Floppy in at B, putting on a bit of a show and getting it down to just one man remaining. It's Yell again. Surely not enough for the AWP of MIBR. This would be what, his third save round in a row? He's getting out of there with it. Honestly, I think there comes a point where saving almost becomes harmful, right? Like, we've seen how the economy management for MIBR can sometimes get a little bit weird, right? That's been a reoccurring theme in a lot of the series we've seen them in, where it feels like they kind of starve themselves of money. I think Yell dying at the end there isn't the end of the world, because, now he's got the same amount of cash as the rest of his team. They can rebalance that out a little bit, and he'll still be fine to bring the AWP out in the coming round, so long as, someone saves some of this money.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think what it does is it sometimes pigeonholes the team into certain moves that maybe they don't want to really make, and because of the way the money is. Either way, we'll have a fast round here. The pistols are out for MIBR. They're going to be charging that B site, looking for that fast approach, fast trades. But, oh my god, so blind on the site. How is that not a kill just yet? There we go. Finally, we'll get an exchange of frags. But it is, of course, going to be better for the defenders. Cloud9 in a great position to succeed here. Zeppa, oh my god, he's mad. Absolutely mad stuff from Zeppa.
Gives him an AK.
Yeah.
Signed, sealed, and delivered, posted into the hands of Yell. He's going to throw it out of there to his teammate. Shiz giving it a go instead. Yell lining up a flash. And, I mean, if MIBR win this round, oof. That would be a real catastrophe for Cloud9, but I'm not banking on it yet. S-Tag is still here supporting Alex. Messi up on the top. Alex sees Yell, gets rid of him. The AK is still in the hands of Shiz, moving into the same position, and it's a beautiful headshot. Short player gone, all on Shiz. He's got the bomb, he can plant, and they have to respect that, but Messi from above lays down the fire. Cloud9 deal with the pistols, albeit a little bit close for comfort.
Man, one of the weird things right now is like MIBR are trying to play this really slow T side where they wait and see what Cloud9 are willing to give up. And if anything, it feels like the faster rounds have been better, right? At like not allowing Cloud9's aggression to find anything. And on top of that, I think the slow style that MIBR are playing, it feels very disjointed. Like a lot of the time, there's not really trade potential, or whenever there is, they keep getting mowed down in like some weird, you know, some weird fashion where it's not quite panning out in their favor. I know that, you know, going for things like gamble rushes and all that can't work all the time, but you know, they need a matter of rounds to get this game over the line. I think not just reserving it for rounds like that where you're on ecos, where, you know, you actually have a bit more to go behind it, might not be a bad idea, honestly, just to give it a go once, right? You don't want to get to the point where it's all tied up at 13-13. And then you throw in like your first B rush on some partial buy, and then you win the round, but you still end up losing the game, because then it's like, oh, well, why didn't we just try that sooner? I don't know, man. I just think this slow style is really letting Cloud9 excel in getting a pick, getting out of there, basically doing to MIBR what MIBR did to them the entire first half.
Yeah, if this was the full 13-2 comeback, that would be unbelievable for Cloud9, honestly. MIBR, will they figure it out? We've had our fair share of comebacks today anyway. Dan, we had a 13-6 lead for NIP on CT Vertigo that they lost without another round. So 13-2 doesn't sound that unrealistic, as crazy as that is to say. Orb in the toilets. Messi and Alex, never far apart. The British brethren versus the Brazilian boys as he tucked. Hard angle to clear, certainly. He goes a bit wider, sees the shadow, good spray, almost gets a second, but now he's in for a shot. Shiz as well, players pushing into B desperately. Zeppa deals with them, and this round has fallen apart. Again, Harry, we're getting very similar slow rounds, and MIBR very split. And now in a 2-on-4 with a player on either side of the map.
Yeah, desperate times. It's good to see so far, though, that Cloud9 have been able to find so much success to make this really competitive. And you don't want to spam this spot that you're talking about, Harry, at Divider, you know, this time, because you'd give up the whole game. So it becomes a very powerful position in that sense. Oh, okay. The timing is, I don't know how this is going to go exactly. Oh, God, he's going to find Yell. Yell is going to have assumed that would have been safe. That's unfortunate. It's gonna be the AWP out of his hands and died after time, I believe, right? So that's painful. Yeah, I definitely agree with the sentiment about running some of the faster stuff. So I hope that that's something that we start to see. I think allowing Cloud9 a lot of space to kind of just manage things and not having as much of that kind of urgent pressure of the fast plays is giving them a lot to work with. And it kind of allows them to play in their comfort zone too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like even thinking to the MIBR CT side, right? They were very, very good at these like 1-2 punches and then just getting out of there. And it's not really materializing this way over on the T side. Like even this round here, right? You have those two players near each other at long, so it's more like fair play, you know, at getting the double in the first place. There was that trade potential. But once they're gone, you know, the next guy was Yell, and he's all the way back down long. Like he can't trade that. He just ends up waiting. And then by the time the bombs rotated back around, there's not even time to actually go for the bomb plant anymore. So this slow style is really punishing MIBR, and it feels like it's giving Cloud9 a kind of easy time at this comeback. Like they're probably surprised at how this is feeling, like just completely under control, not really tested at all.
Oh,
There's the opener again. No chance to trade that one, right? The smoke spammed out of the round.
Cloud9 naded door and they boosted on top of the site, and S-Tag hits a perfect grenade and then combos it with a spam and kills Yell, even getting another player low who is running through the smoke. Danico leading up towards A. No info for S-Tag. He doesn't actually spot these players on the jump, but he will hear them calling for help from long. Mollied out, has to go wide for the fight, can't get a single kill, but Mezzi's position is massive. Will the long lurker be there in time? Mezzi not firing, shot in the back as he was blinded off the angle. Zeppa is already here, putting up a fight, dropping the bomb. And why does the bomb chase? I don't know. That could have been MIBR resetting or trying to plant, but Danico's given the package away. And this round's done, surely. Shiz, 1v3, on for the 4K. Mollied out, can reset, 30 seconds to do it. But this would be a blunder by Cloud9, surely. They've got everything going for them with the bomb so deep. Nice.
Got all the angles. Well, it felt like a little bit more promising at least. There were like opportunities to make things happen there. But this is one of the issues as well. I think you know, we're seeing from Zeppa, but you know, so many of the players from Cloud9, they are just actually awesome. They're just so good at the game, and in terms of like the individual capacity, the individual output has just been really just totally phenomenal, really. So here we go. We get a faster approach through sewers.
Oh, let's get it.
The pistols.
Okay, they win this.
This is interesting. This is interesting indeed. But the intrigue's gone. The spray down's in for S-Tag. You know, it feels kind of bad, man, for the two that actually went in, because everyone else is lagging behind. Thanks to these smokes, thanks to this utility from Cloud9. And there's the lock-in. You know, it's one of these things. They try the fast round, like I say, they do it on one of these partial investments, right? You try and give it a go there, then now you kind of write it off in your head. You go, well, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Let's go back to what we were doing. You know, maybe we're just going to see one of these defaults again. But honestly, with the default in it, it feels like you're very much relying on the individuals that are taking these fights to be winning them. And in this second half, MIBR haven't. You know, a reminder for anyone tuning in, you're probably thinking, oh, we have some sick, close Cloud9 MIBR game, been back and forth. Well, no, it hasn't. It's literally just been 13-2 half from MIBR into this insane streak of rounds from Cloud9, and like props to them for making it happen. But I also don't think they've been challenged massively by MIBR just yet. Now that's a nice little nade stack to deal with Floppy. Here's this con wrap from Mezzi, and so finally we need a bit more of a kind of heroics now from Cloud9 as the pressure's been applied liberally towards this B site early in the round. Mezzi's flank has at least slowed down the push, and there is also an early rotation down towards B, or at least there was. Now Zeppa going back up towards that A bomb. So I think it's Zeppa. Can't actually read. No, it's not. It's Alex with the AWP over towards long. Mezzi falling back out of the connector, but his presence there was great because essentially now Cloud9 know, well, they couldn't have got up con. The only place Alex has had to worry about is long. Maybe there was a chance at like a mid wrap or something. Mezzi's been given time to get out of there though and got the info that no one was mid. And so Cloud9, they know to readjust here. They know to go back to this 2-2 split, and they've had more than enough time to make those necessary adjustments. Are they ready for the long toilets play? It might just blindside these guys coming out of con. There he is with the swing. Traded after one.
Oh, they're gonna go back here. Looks like they're gonna go back, and this is gonna be perfect timing too, because Cloud9, with how low the time is, are actually quite convinced that it's gonna be an A play. But in fact, MTB bomb site, and if the bomb goes down quickly, they maybe they'll actually have time to get some post-plant positioning. It's looking pretty rough here. Bols will just face, and there's nowhere to go for SAC. He's got to fight, and he's going to only be able to take down a single player. I mean, it was a good maneuver, but it's a hard spot, you know, in the post plant. As you can see, there wasn't time to get position. And 13-13, all tied up. And it's crazy, right? Because it does actually feel like Cloud9 are going to win, because they haven't been losing rounds on this CT side. Have they lost a single round? They have not, I don't think.
No, they haven't lost a single round yet. It was 13-2 at the end of the first half. And now Well, now it's 13-13. MIBR stuck in time. Our Cloud9 are progressing forward.
I just don't know what's happening really at this point. It's very impressive work from Cloud9, but MIBR, like I don't know. I've not seen a 13-2 come back in a while. Usually something is salvaged. One fast eco win.
Exactly, right? Like, yeah, normally there's something, or there's at least something you look at and you go, well, at least they made that close. Mate, all of these rounds have just been washes, it feels like, for the most part. I think the best they've probably had would be like getting it down to that 2v3 in the round prior, and even then it ended immediately. You know, like with really nothing getting done.
What have we got here then? Jump up, maybe boost on the head with the AWP. That's always a nice play. Oh, Alex, he's going for it. This AWP has been so good, honestly. Like, doesn't want to feed it. Don't want to go any further than this with 4 players around the corner. He doesn't know. Oh, the molly. It burns Danico into the fire. Or the firing line, rather. And here come MIBR. Cloud9, 4 players on the site. No surprises here. They've been reading this one well. It's been pretty obvious. S-Tag doubles up with the AK. Messi still tucked and they have no idea.
Great shot from Yell. Nice swing and another win from Yell as he goes down into a 1 versus 2. He's got 20 seconds to plant the bomb. It's not a lot of time here as he tries to find the next player. Oh, he gets that tag too, catching him on that jiggle. And now it's Floppy, who knows where Yell is, but the more time passes, the less sure he can be. Although he hears the reload, he wants to go for the fight. The pressure comes through from Floppy. Oh my God, he didn't even have to do that. The bomb had to go down. Floppy's an insane human.
Yeah, damn good try, right? Maybe a clutch would have been the answer, or 1-on-4. Pulls it back to the 1v1 and still falls short. Cloud9 looking like they're going to lock in their map pick right now.
That's a good question. I do think that they do. We actually haven't seen many 2s. Have we had a 2-0?
I think we've had 1 2-0, Hugo. We have had 1 2-0 thus far.
Which was?
That was the day where me, you, and James played GeoGuessr afterwards.
Yes, that is true.
But other than that, you know, we had all like these fun little segment-y things planned with Summit, but we haven't got to really show any of them because every single one of these series has been like these very, very tense, close, you know, double overtime affairs. So yeah, I mean, it would be like history in the making to get a 2-0 out of Cloud9, and it would be fitting that Henry's team could be the one to bring us it. But I don't know if they will. You know, that's the only problem. Is their Vertigo stats haven't looked incredible, right? Don't have like a massive pool, massive wealth of information to go off of, so you never really know. I think it's a bit of a weird map, honestly. I don't really know how I'm feeling heading into it because MIBR haven't impressed me massively on Vertigo just yet.
I think you'd be a fool to sit there after watching that game and go, I know exactly what we're going to expect.
No,
no fucking clue. It's up in the air. Who knows? Anyone can win this game. Anyone can throw this game, apparently, as we've just learned from Overpass. And hey, I'm just hoping we get a competitive half, right, where both teams are winning rounds. Like, it's actually kind of not boring, but it just feels odd when one team is winning every round of the half, and it's like, it's just bullying now at this point. Like, you know, MIBR are wrecking, Cloud9 are wrecking. I don't know. I want both teams in the game. I want resets. I want economy being managed. We didn't have any of that in this one.
There were 2 T-sides rounds gained in that entire game. Like, that's wild when you think about it. Yeah, just all blue. And then, man, I haven't seen a game like that in just in forever. I can't think of the last time I've seen something like that. So, yeah, this series has already surprised us. It's had unexpected twists and turns around every corner. And they're set to continue in just a minute, so don't go anywhere. Oh, you just caught him getting back in. You just caught it. Look at this. What are you doing, Hugo?
It's a failure, Harry.
Oh, nice. Right, he's nailed that. So yeah, we just had a game of Counter-Strike happen, believe it or not. It was 13-2 in favor of the MIBR guys, and then everything fell apart. And also, you might notice that we have some new faces join us right here, right now. How are you gents doing? I wasn't even aware you guys were tuning in. I'm excited to have you here.
Yeah, we feel good. We just finished practice, so unfortunately we didn't look at the game, but I heard it was a sick comeback, but we didn't see it, unfortunately.
Who did you practice, if you're allowed to tell us?
Mostly Vitality today.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, I like that. I like that. Bit of vitality prac going on in the background. I love the Fnatic studio as well. We had this conversation the other day. You guys rocking a better setup than really any of us, which I think is pretty sick, man. Is this for the full-time Fnatic player commentary? Is this something we're working on getting out there?
No, this is just like we have a boot camp in Stockholm, and this is also a studio that does a lot of different things for ESL, DreamHack. So, yeah, we're just here.
All right, banging, banging. Well, look at this. We're actually getting into the game nice and quickly, no waiting around. So, we've already had a bit of a weird one. You guys said you didn't really catch it. Like I say, it was 13-2 in favor of MIBR, and then it ended 16-13 to Cloud9. They didn't get a single T-side round. So, we're not hoping for more of that. I want a bit more of a back and forth game and not just a counter-terrorist game this time around.
Yeah, that's insane. Wasn't it 13-2 first half?
13-2, and then it ends 16-13.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that, yeah, good entry. They can be really good on this map though, but the problem here is the mental part. If you lose that big, it can be a big problem next map.
It's fasting to be in this pistol. They've got 2 entries. Zeppa's still here. It's a full setup for Cloud9. Their rotates were quick, and Zeppa has just set them on fire. 3 frags. The bomb's rotating out. Shiz has got a lot of control from the middle, and he's making noise. I wonder if they hear that as he runs away to take A. Bomb's going to take its sweet time, though. Shiz has a lot to do.
Oh! SAP. Oh god, he's looking pretty scary right now. He's set Yell up nicely.
Wow.
And MIBR, that's that. Well, we're talking about the mental game. You know, it's gonna be the case that MIBR can get themselves straight back into this one with that pistol win. That's pretty huge.
So, Giacchino, what's it like being on Fnatic, man? It's great having you on, firstly.
Thank you.
You know,
Good being here.
obviously, yeah, you've probably had a pretty wild start to 2021. Why don't you give us a bit of an intro as to your history in Counter-Strike, how long you've been playing, and you know, a short synopsis of your career.
Well, I've been playing CS for about 4.5 years. Started in the beginning of 2016 or towards the end of 2015. For the reason that I had stopped playing football. When I was younger, my dream was to become a professional football player. As I took a break from that, I found out about esports pretty much. Saw teams like NIP and Fnatic, and yeah, and I just knew I wanted to compete in this game, and ever since then I've been grinding through the ranks in the Swedish scene, and yeah.
Awesome.
That's pretty sick. So you've always had like the competitive spirit about you then, like wanting to be a pro football player, then transitioning into Counter-Strike. That's sick, man. So like, were you just kind of nuts from the get-go? How much of this was like, you know, natural talent, do you think? And then how much was what you learned through grinding?
I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm kind of a stereotype guy because I started watching my older brother play CS:GO or even 1.6. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I've always played games, so I guess there's some talent for that. Just playing, you know, games, FPS games and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a grind. Learned a lot.
I love it, man. With all Scandinavian players, I feel like there's always a brother. There's always a brother that's been showing them Counter-Strike before, and then they're like, yeah, I'm gonna beat him, and then you beat him, and then you go, well, you know, now who can I beat? You know, and then you just start, So yeah, no, man, no, that's sick. Honestly, and it is great to have you here. You know, nice to get some airtime with you, and obviously you, Samuelsson, as well, man. It's good to have you around as like the reoccurring theme here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the golden part now. All clutch situations, like one kill
that's good,
and
man.
lose.
One kill and lose. That is the tried and tested golden method.
Yeah.
Look at this stack. 4 on the sandbag.
It's very cheesy, isn't it, man? It's just trying to like gimmick something with these USPs. They get away with one. You know, you'll take that. And now you realize if you're MIBR, like, yeah, probably we don't go there. And actually they do, mate. SAG just runs in the back line. So they could have just gone B, could have applied the bomb, but instead they hunt the kills. Fair enough, 3-0. Now we have this buy round. Now you're hoping things get a bit more exciting.
And how's Vertigo been for you guys at Fnatic? Like, it still feels like there's... I mean, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. I'm happy to watch it these days, but I don't know how it is to play at the top level. I know it used to be frustrating because it would change a lot, but do you feel like it's a bit more stable and easier to approach now?
From my point of view, I really like the changes because I think that in the beginning it was really bad, but now it's okay. I do think that it's way too A heavy still though. It's like most of the rounds you see it's like full war on A and quiet mid, quiet B. Not round because it mix it up, but still a lot of A heavy for me.
Yeah, what do you think the solution is to that though? Is it making B more approachable, or is it making A? I don't even know how you would fix it, right, without completely rehauling everything.
Yeah, that's the thing about that's the map, but it's two one-sided if you compare A to B.
For me as I play, it feels like I don't know. I don't really think of the map of a way of being like unbalanced or too A heavy or something like that. I think it's just when a map first comes out, you're not familiar with it. Like you need time to find out the meta on how to play the map. And for me right now, it feels like Vertigo could have been a map that's been here for like forever because it's kind of cemented right now in the scene. So yeah, I think it's just about players, you know, finding new ways and keeping on exploring.
Yeah, and I like Vertigo now, but I would love them to change maps more often though.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's a shared sentiment between a lot of people, right? Just to help keep the game a little more fresh, right? Even if it was just a tiny bit more regular than it is now. I know there's a lot of like Cash fans out there that are wanting to bring Cash back into the pool. I personally want like brand new maps. I don't want to just see the same. You know, like we've had Cash before, and it's a cool map, you know. But I don't know. I feel like the current meta of CS, the maps that are popular are things like Nuke. You know, like Nuke was the most played map last year, wasn't it? So, and that was never the case before. I think these very tactical maps where you've got a lot open to you are really popular, and I think Cash has always been pretty aim heavy, in my opinion. Right? I don't know if that's something you guys would agree with, but
yeah,
I want new maps, brand spanking new.
For me, it's more, not about the map really. I just want a change because you work with the same maps over and over and over and over again. So Cash would work for me, but just to think that they should change like each 6 months or something like that. So have something fresh, mix it up in the scene. Work with something new.
It'd be so cool to swap them out swap one map out every major or even every year, or just whenever, please, Valve.
Just ever, really, just a tool.
Yeah. Would you say you're like you know, a lot when we talk about new maps, a lot of people go old school and they go like, Tuscan, Mill, you know, like old 1.6 or source maps at times. Are you in that same boat? I know you said you just want change at this point, but if you could choose, would you bring in an old map or would you try something fresh?
I mean, I can't be pity. I just want a change, but if I get a change, I would love a new map. But Tuscan would be awesome. That's a really good map in my opinion.
Oh, Zephyr behind the sandbags, cleaning it up. Smoke for a Molly. They don't have one, but he can still buy time. Oh, it's actually gone out. He can hide in the smoke, taking a bit of damage, going above the railing even. Surely not another. Bolts does deal with him, and he goes flying.
Love the attempt there, just trying to do what he can with that smoke. Trying to make plays in very awkward positions, but 5 seconds to plant the bomb. This is very awkward indeed. Forced in the corner. Pretty sure you can spam that, and indeed there's the bomb on the ground. Round one by time. Really nice by Cloud9. Starting to come back into things. Alex has been really good on the AWP. I really am impressed with the consistency that he's been showing with it. It kind of feels like he's been doing it for a lot longer than he has when you watch him. With the confidence that he has and the moves that he's making.
And gents, feel free to pick up any play-by-play if you wanted it. If you want to try your hand at it, if you want to give it a go.
There's the invitation.
That's for Samuelson, you know.
Samuelson, play-by-play extraordinaire.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this one, Simonson? How are you feeling about this round?
About this round?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I talk about. Full war on A until the smoke disappear, and then we can start work the map. And that's what I don't like about this map. But as you also mentioned, it's hard to do something else about it. Yeah. But I would say that this is like a typical Vertigo round. And the cities is falling back because they have no utility left, and then they will do a execute here.
Yeah, this is like a really hard situation for the CTs, because when you use so many resources and put so much attention to fighting A and you don't get anything from it, then it's just almost impossible to hold the A site, especially with the low HP.
Yeah, they've got so much room mid. Look at these players climbing over construction to B right now. If Shuz can get out, grab that bomb and join his team, that'd be massive. But there is Mezzi in the backline to worry about. Cutting off this rotate, he's just playing the bomb right now. He's not playing too aggro, hoping someone goes to pick it up. Those B players are coming searching. This is smart by MIBR. They've walked mid to B, back down the bottom to flank Mezzi. That is really annoying. What a play. Now
That was
B's
a really
open.
good job. To realize that they might push and have the bomb and clear it.
Wow. Well, at least we're seeing T-side rounds from MIBR in this map. Didn't get any on overpass, so
It's a good start.
Yeah, really good start.
after that comeback.
yeah. How do you, Jackie? Do you find it easy to like reset coming into another game? Right? Have you had a game where you get smashed and you go in full tilt into that next one, or do you find it fairly easy to brush it off and go new map, new me, I'll figure it out, new game?
I mean, obviously I haven't had that much experience in the tier 1 scene yet, but I'd say overall I've always been someone who's been a fan of like sports psychology, and always enjoyed learning about it. Good timing as well that DDK is here. I've been watching a lot of his podcasts as well, so yeah.
Awesome.
But I would say that the way they lost is like the worst you can do. Have a big lead, you lose 14 rounds in a row and lose the map. That's the worst possible.
And yeah, to get back to your question, so far I'd say I'm pretty good at resetting between maps. Yeah.
Nice, valuable skill.
Oh yeah, Chiquini, I got another question, right? So does it feel kind of surreal to be on a team now with like some of these big Swedish legends? You got guys like JW in there, right? Crims as well.
He knows his onions.
No, yeah, I know that. But yeah, man, you get what I mean. Like, does that feel kind of surreal going from being someone who was like discussed as like a talent, and I heard that it's things like FPL, right, really kind of helped build you up. Would you say that
Swedish
that
Pro League,
helped?
right?
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, Swedish Pro League.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's like it's really a dream come true. I mean, it's what I've been dreaming for the last 5 years to be in a situation like this and play for Fnatic. So yeah, I mean, I haven't played a lot, but there's some days where I'm just like, holy shit, I'm playing in Fnatic, but then at the other hand, the guys are so like welcoming and down to earth. So when we're at the boot camp right now, it feels pretty normal. But yeah, sometimes I just catch myself, thinking that I'm here,
Yeah, well, because something else that's kind of, unique to this situation that we're in right now is that the kind of highs of it all, like the best bits, which are the LAN events, are still to come with you with this team, right? Like, boot camping must feel nice, getting to see everyone and stuff, but knowing that at some point soon you're going to be at a LAN wearing the Fnatic jersey, that's a really cool feeling, and something that you're always going to have to look forward to, considering the time we're in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've told my friends and my family that, I'm not gonna fully realize where I am until the day I play a big tournament, on a big LAN, and I think it's probably gonna be amazing feeling that kicks in when I get to do that.
We all want those crowds back. We all want those stadium filled.
Yeah.
I also think that is like a good start for a new fresh guy that start with online, have a boot camp,
Yeah,
kick off
No
boot
pressure,
camp,
yeah.
play some tournaments and then go to LAN. So
Yeah, you have to look at the good side. Good side of
Yeah,
it, where that's like this online era. It couldn't be a better time for me to get a chance to like have a more smooth ride, so to say.
Yeah, like a good transition in, right? Like
Exactly,
kind of
yeah, transition.
starting slow and building up. And also, that's kind of what's happened in this round. MIBR exploded into A. It was looking good for them in the beginning, but now we get into this kind of awkward 4-on-3. Ooh, that's a bit of a blind. That's through the smoke as well. And yeah, man, so these are the fights that Samuelson's like molding over right now. This is what he's on about with these A brawls, right? And how, especially in retakes, it feels like it can come down to these ramp fights through smoke. It does feel like, right, if the T's get into that A bomb site with utility left over, retaking, like even at a man advantage, as we saw there in a 4-on-3, it can feel so punishing, right? With the smokes down, just keep cutting you off from actually, you know, getting into the site. And then even once the smokes have faded, well, you've got to be ready to go for one of those ramp duels, which can be so finicky, man. Like, it's just so irritating to actually, you know, be able to gain any ground to get back into those kind of rounds.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very depending on the utilities that you use as CT. I mean, most of the time it's always going to be T favored because they got the good angles and the better weaponry. So it's a tough situation to be in to retake A site.
That's some stylish tape on Zeppa's headphones. Oh,
I think it's a mask.
yeah. Oh, face mask. Smart.
Yeah, very smart.
yeah, it's really hard to retake. You can do one thing, it's like a Fnatic style. Just throw smoke, create chaos, and diffuse. It's like one tactic you can do.
It's weird though, because that does feel like one of the better ways to approach it, as ludicrous as that sentiment is. Like, yeah, just make it absolutely fucking wild inside of the site and just hope that, that everything goes your way.
I feel like you need numbers to do that, right? You can't,
Yeah.
if you're down in men, you can't, like, the cover's never going to be there to stick an open plant. If the T's are ramp and short and you're 2v3, I feel like it's always lost. Like, you need 3 CTs pushing and spraying and throwing grenades to cause distraction so you can actually get on the defuse.
Yeah, everything depends on your utility, the other team's utility, and the man's, of course, the man advantage.
Floppy, he's got bottom ramp. He's pushed through the smoke for 2 kills and even cut off the bridge. So 5-on-3, and MIBR are just scrambling to get back to the ramp.
Yeah, it feels so much like Banana and Inferno, the dynamic on A ramp. It's just that on Inferno, like, you have the option on the T side to kind of have another position on the map you can take as part of your default, which is like top mid, which is also really impactful and you can do a lot from it. But it doesn't feel like you kind of have a similar option like that. And you can see MIBR just reset the situation a little bit. They wait out the smoke. They've only got 3 players, so it makes a lot of sense to just try to hit together, and it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be real tough.
Oh.
But with shots like that, maybe it could be possible here. Cello opening things up. It is a little bit labored to get into the side, though. They do get an after plant. 3 versus 4. They're able to just dodge out of the Molotov in time, so able to take post-plant positioning. So it's definitely quite possible with that frag as well. It's not even up to a 3v3, and there's only a single smoke left on S attack.
Double up retake as well.
Yeah, and only 1 smoke, so it's gonna be really hard, even though T's so low.
Ooh, yeah, the orbs, right? That's a little bit problematic. Yell's even holding on to his over here. Oh, it's only the tag, and now he does get dealt with, but there's the spray to the bomb, and it doesn't matter because Bolts will deliver from the short side. You know, 1 missed shot with that AWP, suddenly the AWP is dead. Second man runs through the smoke, it all gets a bit confusing at the very end. But that's an MIBR round, and Yeah, man, I don't know how MIBR managed to sneak that one past the keeper, as it were, you know? They kind of push it, very little time left, not much going their way. They get that opening kill from Cello, and it's like the moment the bomb goes down, even in the 3-on-4, you feel the momentum like switch, right? They have the time to run back to ramp and short, and then they're ready with that horrible crossfire that you have to try and deal with.
Yeah, I mean, last round you could see Chile is running to get the bomb down because he knows that if he manages to get the bomb down and survive for the afterplan, they have such a good position to win the round.
And also that's the negative part of double opening. All retakes are really hard.
This is a clean sweep though. 5-on-1. Messi in the site.
Hey, we're eyeing up another 13-2 into a flawless half from Cloud9. I can feel it. It's coming, all right? So all in good time. It's a nice little flawless round there, you know, to build up some more money. Not that MIBR are really worried about that at this point in time. You know, they're good in terms of the economy. That comes in handy, though. You know, like Yell's a very impactful player when he's got this AWP out, and maybe less so with the rifle, it feels like. So, you know, having that extra bank to reliably bring the AWP out, to not have to worry about like these ramp fights, the fact that Yell's able to excel there, it's a nice look for MIBR.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Fast-paced up A ramp, trying to get ahead of the nades, and pretty successful here ultimately, especially as HED able to take down Floppy. Nice entry there from him. The repeats coming in from Alex. He knows he has to take down at least one player before they move forward, and he's actually going to whiff that shot. That's really unfortunate. I feel like that one shot from Alex could really have changed this round quite a lot. I suppose it has, and him missing it and going down. So desperate here for Cloud9.
I like that re-smoke though. It makes things very hard for teams to swing. They can often get spotted before they can see a thing. Eyes in the smoke. Boost coming up. Oh, they're ready for it. There it is. Yeah. I feel like someone just called that to Danica that they saw a jump and knocked out from the bottom.
Yeah, I think in that situation, right, when they got the first 2 entries, it's like Cloud9 have been trying to hold the A side before, but they just can't hold the side and they can't win the retake, so they're like, okay, we have to do something, right? And MIBR are ready for it.
What do you think of these A-ramp boosts? Obviously, this was wood, it's changed to metal. You still get wall banged pretty commonly. I feel like when I watch teams do it at this level, it doesn't work. Like, everyone's so ready for it. And if you do get spotted, we see exactly what happens. The bottom player just gets spammed out.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want it to work, you have to have like a really good plan behind it. You know, put some pressure somewhere else or kind of hide it in some kind of pattern. But yeah, usually on the default you're gonna be spamming the walls and holding those angles.
I've always wondered, right? So for CTs on this map, is like going for mid aggression something that's ever too valuable? Because it does feel like, you know, the majority of fights are just either at those B stairs or at the A ramp, as you say, like that A ramp brawl. Is there ever much point to, like, you know, trying to get forward positioning as the CTs on a mid push?
Against certain teams, I would say yes, because you can gain a lot of map control if you get to lower level. But it all depends, and I would say that most of the teams are really good at holding aggression from mid.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had 2 rounds in this map where Cloud9 have walked ladder and pushed down. I think Mezzi did it once, and then S-Tag another time with Deagles. And both times MIBR have been watching ladder from bottom A, so they're at least staying aware of it.
Yeah, I feel that most of the top teams are very good at doing that and punish you.
Oh, I like this spot from Mezzi. Are they going to clear it? Oh, he's ducking down below. Oh, 4 players spams the Deagle. It's a team kill in the mix as well, but he's done the damage.
Yeah, he did a good job there. That's a situation when you're like, oh no, I got the Deagle, you know? Because the M4 is like 4 kills.
Maybe just maybe they can do something else though. They've got another creep through the smoke. Alex, he's gonna pick up an AWP maybe, but he'll be denied. 2 versus 2. There's a decent amount of time here, so MIBR can walk around the map. But oh god, is that some? Was that just knifing the air there? So that's gonna give a nice sound cue to SAC. Well, he's picked up the AK, and he is an absolute beast. And he has a smoke as well. Now he's picked up the AWP. Is he Okay, there we go. The AK for the retake makes a lot of sense. There's no utility really from MIBR. They have the single HE, so might be a good opportunity here for a floppy for a clutch.
He's pretty late though with no kit, so it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, he's walking so much because
Yeah,
they could
he's
be
so slow
pushed,
as
but
well.
they're not. So I feel like if you don't get the first kill here for free, you probably just go back and save. Oh,
Oh, okay.
no time.
Is it the one and traded? Is it the golden prophecy coming true? Oh, there it is. 1 out of 2
Rocket
ain't bad. But there it is, right? 10 on the board for MIBR. That little flank back to A works wonders for them.
They've done that twice now.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, right, like, it shows that they have a knowledge of kind of where the purchase is at for Cloud9 as well. You know, like, just leaving, getting out the danger, not taking the fights. The fact that SHZ has that aggro push, as Jaquino, I think, pointed out there, you know, it was really, really good timing, especially with the noise being made coming up the ramp, right? It lulls them in to go for that fast rotate, gets him a free kill. And then in the 2v1 versus a guy with no kit who's having a sneak the whole way on the rotate, you're pretty screwed there if you're unfortunate enough to be Cloud9 in that situation.
Yeah.
Was this the first timeout?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any thus far. So pretty late on, considering how one-sided this score is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I would like them to try something crazy here. I mean, obviously nothing is working really. So they should go outside the box now and try something not the standard play.
What do you recommend?
Ooh, it's hard, but something crazy like 4A. They did it on the force buy, but something like that, and really push them back on A because they've been pretty successful on A. Or as you said, like maybe a double push mid, or
Let's see that plant because obviously it's so open, so risky.
and that's the thing when it's something out of the what you normally see, you think twice, right? So oh, this is not a standard plant. Someone can be behind, for example. But it was a really good lurk from Easy Tag when he pushed and got behind.
Yeah, it's all about finding that timing, right? Going early. MIBR have been playing slow below A and have killed them. But now Cloud9 know they can hit maybe a late round timing down the ladder when MIBR are committing. Let's see if we get any more of that in these last 2 rounds. 5 would be just enough, maybe. Throw in a pistol and you're golden. But Cloud9 are relying on a lot.
After that overpass game as well, where I'm just very afraid that we'll just get some kind of repeat of that. But I think that's really unlikely.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happens 2 maps in a row. That's not good for your team mentality, that's for sure.
I feel like we've tempted fate as well by saying, yeah, it shouldn't happen again. Well, now it feels like it's destined to happen again. You know, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, MIBR in the lead right now. Things are looking good, and they're setting up once again. Very heavy presence over here towards ramp. You got players rotating up now to join them from down towards that B side of the map. And Cloud9 trying to hold on. Alex with the openers, putting this AWP to good use. And this is nice. Finally, MIBR have had to kind of, you know, they haven't just gotten all the respect. They haven't been given all the room here at ramp. They're kind of trapped. There's one of the openers they needed. They trade as well onto Floppy. Numbers still lying with Cloud9. They want to get this bomb down, but these smokes are going to start to fade soon, and then it gets a lot harder to get into this site. Bolt's creeping in. That's a nice shot to Mezzy. You're hoping the trade comes through, and there it is from S-Tag. So just Cello left, but he's pretty good in these clutches. I wouldn't write him off just yet. How much do Cloud9 want to pressure him? They let him get the bomb down, but the moment he stands back up, Alex is there, ready to go to put 4 on the board for Cloud9.
Yeah. As you mentioned, if you get the last round here, the game is still live if you win the pistols. So, and you have that mental factor from the last game when they lost in that way. So you will get second thoughts if it will be near this map as well, I would say.
I think no matter the halftime scoreline, Alex is saying, come on, boys, let's just remember that last map and don't give up, don't give in. Anything's possible. And he's not wrong.
Alright, so typical stuff going on. And Danico is trying to get ahead of the initial nades. No one close though, actually. So Cloud9 playing a little bit further back. Not to see this works out for them. Bolsters creeping in mid as well. So it's ultimately quite a passive approach this round from Cloud9's defense. Ooh, that was so close to a miss there. Yeah, was completely blind, but times that very nicely to take down Floppy. Huge frag to find. A lot of time left in the round as well for MIBR to play with. And with bolts on this huge flank, I don't think they have any idea about this. Ooh. This is devastating.
And they just hold off. They could even rotate bomb, but they're just waiting for bolts to get multiple kills, and they are right in front of him. Oh boy, he could double down here with ease. He's trying to find that second without exposing himself though. At a certain point, you just take the kill and unleash the beast. Everyone runs in, bolts doubles up. There's still Zephyr at short, but players on all sides. That's a really well played round by MIBR. No way Mezzi has a chance here. 1 on 5. They've even mollied his entry.
Yeah, it was a really good flank, but that's a round I feel like C9 did a really good thing, but got punished for it. It was perfect timing for that flash in yellow, but he was totally white and no-scoped him. So they did a really good thing, but got punished for it.
Damn. Can't win them all, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate when you are 4 times down.
Now it's worse. 4-11, MIBR looking to take this to a third map, looking to make this series long as well. But we know Cloud9 like comebacks, and we'll see if this second half is full of that as well as it was in the first. Join us in just a moment.
Oh, and we're back. It's right now MIBR in the lead. Things are looking up right for the Brazilian squad, trying to do right after that overpass defeat earlier on. Also, a little round of applause for the Fnatic guys. We got Jaquinho and Samuelson joining us for this one. They're second-time callers, long-time listeners here of the stream. So we're going to be hopping into this together, into the second half. MIBR with this CT side now, and a pistol round. Well, that could really help get them to the victory here. It's not a good start. They lose a man early, and this A site, it's already overrun by Cloud9, but look at where the bomb is. It's going through mid to this B site, in through construction, around the world, and back again.
Wow.
And that's Cloud9 getting the pistol.
So you boys are doing a bit of recon, right? As far as I'm aware. Winner of this game is going to face Fnatic in the playoffs, so you better have your notepads out, right?
Yeah, for sure. And Cloud9, they already won twice as many rounds as the last map, and they won, and now they won the pistol, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's easy for Cloud9 at this point, really.
Yes, exactly. Compared to the last game, it's easy.
Let's see if history can repeat itself. For the sake of my mental state, I hope it doesn't. I don't think I can mentally deal with knowing that MIBR have it fall apart twice in a row. You hope that they're better than that and that they can keep this going and get us to a third. But right now, you know, it's just this force buy. They've gone for it. You know, pretty ballsy. Lots of smokes here. So maybe anticipating that this A-site play could come in and then they can try and use them in the retake. Because it's a bit of an awkward map to go for like these smoke delay plays on. You can smoke short, but top ramp feels like kind of anyone's game once that T-side utility goes over.
Nice shot. Was that from a boost? SOC? I'm not sure, but
I didn't actually catch it. I just heard the Deagle fire off, and then suddenly he's got 1 kill.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. It's definitely not bad. There's a lot of util here for Cloud9. So they're just going to continue to slowly creep up. And
that's the boost.
Working out. 3v3. It's starting to get a little bit awkward. Still plenty of time, though. Oh, that helps a lot.
Crispy. From a range with the UMP, if you want to make this comeback happen, you can't lose to the pistols. Not in the second round. Cloud9 need this plant, and the smokes and mollies are down, so they've been given a window of opportunity. The nade, or if Alex was planting, he'd be dead, but instead, S-Tag able to get it. Oh, not far. At least some damage done. It's all on Mezzi, really, to finish this round.
This is very scary. There's the smoke down on the bomb as well, so the pressure's starting to get laid on top of C9. There's no kit there. That's very unfortunate. So it will all come to a close in the end. But that was a great effort, though. They did a lot of damage. They kept the economy of Cloud9 honest. And they could even buy a couple pistols here as well if they really wanted to. So good start for Cloud9. I just, you know what? I think it's just going to happen, isn't it? They're definitely winning this game. I was thinking it last half. I'm like, this is just going to happen again, and I just didn't want to say it, but I'm just going to say it. I can't hold it in anymore.
Get in there early. Bite the dip. Oh. Do you guys lose feed or just me?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same for us.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
We're casting blind here, gentlemen. It's a real trial by fire for you two. So it's anyone's guess what's happening. But if I had to hazard a guess, I would say MIBR are in like maybe a 5-on-4 right about now. You know, things are looking good.
Why are you guessing?
I don't know, man. It's probably better than just saying nothing, isn't it? So
Did
if
he
it's
force
right.
again, or was it
I
Fulico?
think it's Felico, yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty
They
sure it
should
is.
have Fulico.
Okay, so Cloud9 have just won 12 rounds in a row.
We're gonna cut back in, and it's 14-14, all tied up. With overtime on the cards. It's really anyone's guess what's happening at this point,
Is it
and
up?
I mean that in the purest of terms.
Huh.
Right, so yeah, this happens sometimes, guys. In the on.
Wait, did we just lose Harry and Hugo as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Just lost you, Harry Mitchell.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
okay, so
no, that was courtesy of
Yeah.
Mr. Hugo
Yeah,
Byron.
yeah,
there
yeah,
just
yeah.
exited us from the.
Well, the stream's in the other Discord room, actually. So if you do want to watch it, you know, it's in the meeting room.
Can I just say, this, because all I can see right now is the Fnatic studio. You two are looking great. That's basically all I have to say on the matter right now. Hopefully we can get this sorted. I'm quickly raising the red flags. Right now,
the
Twitch
game
chat, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure the game is live.
Okay.
So yeah, right now Twitch chat actually have more information than all of us, and that's a pretty unique feeling. I mean, Twitch chat are like the collection of smartest people in the world, I think.
Oh, it's back.
Okay, yeah, we're back.
Nice.
Nice one, Jaquino got it fixed for us.
Yeah.
Technician on the sidelines.
Oh, it's GG MIBR have won.
So they won the Fulico, but now they are in a bad situation.
Ooh, but they catch him in rotation, so that's bolts
Where's the
out.
bomb?
Ooh, thin mids.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
notice that. Oh, that's
Yeah,
rough.
That's not good.
We've got a
Only
molly
one
here as
Molotov.
well.
Look
Yeah,
at
one
this.
Molotov. This will
Look at
be
this
really hard.
situation. Oh, this is going to be hell. And now they realise Smezzy with the spray, but he's only good for a double. You know, they get it kind of close. They do some damage at least, right? They're going to force 3 reinvestments for MIBR.
Yeah. That's a really important round as well from MIBR to shut down the first gun round.
Yeah, not
Some
many
decent
opportunities left. Cloud9 do have the money, right? The anti-ecos were fairly clean, at least the first one, or the USP one I imagine was fairly clean. I hope. We've got
Still
money.
just having a guess.
Yeah, so I imagine it was, Harry. No orbs, though. What do you
Yeah.
make of the org, Jaquino? Do you play the org much? Seeing that more and more.
Yeah. I think it's a bit underrated still. It's a lot more situational, I'd say, though, since before. But yeah, I think I rate the gun pretty highly.
I have to agree, it's very underrated. Especially on some maps, you can really use it.
Yeah, I think train it's so popular on, right? And that makes a lot of sense, like considering all the long angles towards like outside. Even here on Vertigo, I think it's got its uses like at ramp, right? I think it's a pretty devastating weapon at the A site.
Yeah, I mean, even at the back of B site, right? Like if you're holding the stairs solo, you can use the scope, and it's gonna be really hard for a lurker to come up and try to get an edge.
So messy. Dalico, he's really good with that gun. The time's ticked though. Floppy just needs to stay alive. They tap it to force him, and he kills him immediately.
Ooh.
Floppy, the beast, wins the round on his own at the back of the site. And yeah, that was a good util for MIBR, right? Like they molly out the default player. I think it was Alex, forced to rush. Floppy close, whiffs his spray, he's blind. Well, not Floppy, someone else. Either way, a round's a round. MIBR take too long hiding behind those CT smokes, and the bomb will go off. Cloud9. Oh! Very up close for Yao. So maybe still on the docket for Cloud9, maybe still a chance. A reset round to MIBR might push them to eco here. We'll see what their money's like.
I think both teams are pretty poor.
Yeah, of course, 4 players dead.
Yeah.
And then 5 Cloud9. And yeah, no one has money in the replay. So I imagine it drags forward and we have a force or a half buy from MIBR. Pistols and armor versus Galils.
So would you have force bought here? That's my question to you guys. You know, because obviously the money's in a rough spot for both teams. MIBR have kind of played it safe, right, and kept some money left, so now they can buy up next round. Oh, hang on, is this a run boost?
Yeah.
Are they going to give it a go? Let's see it.
The backwards run.
dangerous round to
These
do
make
it.
me nervous. Yeah. Oh, it's not a good
okay.
start.
7 times the charm.
Oh, he's done it, and he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
the kill.
It's an
Oh, and
important
the
round, but,
double.
yeah, good play, but really risky because they have
Yeah.
so bad weapons.
DreamHack Masters, Astralis failed it in like back-to-back rounds, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus Big, right?
Yeah.
They. Oh, hang on a minute. This isn't over yet. Look at this. How on earth did they pull it back? Oh, they haven't. That's how. It's all on TL. 1v2. Still winnable. Still doable. But only Armored the Deagle. And they are getting...
Oh,
Well, I'm kind of trying to make it exciting, aren't I? But then Mezzi just ruins it completely. So 9 on the board for Cloud9. And the risky run boost pays off.
it's
Yeah,
happening,
it really
Dan.
did. But they're still pretty poor. They killed 3 people, so yeah, I think it was a pretty good round for them.
Dan, you're looking more right by the second, and I'm getting more scared by the second.
Uh-oh.
If they win this round, it will be really scary.
Yeah. Got the AWP out. It's a big buy. Oh, I like the boost. Zeppa going over. CTs are crunching. They're sneaking into the fray. Shiz on short with the AWP behind him.
Ooh, oh, that's a huge kill as well, especially given the fact that MIBR don't have as much utility as they would like, you know, incendiaries and so on, you know, really missing flashes. And so they're not really going to be nearly as strong in the retake or playing the slow round. And now they're down 4 against 5. So Cloud9, it looks really possible for them to get a solid reset in here on their economy. It kind of feels like it's going to come down to, it has to come down to some big individual moment from somebody like Yell here. Although with that said, we do have Cloud9 moving towards that B site. And
You need
Yell
at
won't
least
be
2
able to
kills.
respond.
At least 2 kills here.
Cello good for it though.
Molly's everywhere. Oh, he's so blind. He's nowhere to play. Both spots mollied at the site. Bolts is only good for 1. And yeah, that's the round maybe. And maybe I might want to consider saving this orb.
Yikes. Yeah, wow, this is looking really rough, isn't it?
What's happening?
Yeah. The
It's
mental
happening.
part is kicking in now for sure.
Guys, don't throw it again.
How do you even make that speech and make it sound pretty, you know? Like, well, this has happened once. Let's not have it happen twice. We're better than that. This is rough, though. This is scary. Something I'm wondering for you guys, does the CT side feel quite punishing? Because it certainly looks like it would, right? Like, if you lose a round at the minute, CT side, even with max loss bonus, if you're not saving, you know, like let's say, really, I think the ideal number is probably 3 guns, right, to drop back around, then you get a buy. But if not, it kind of feels like T's get like 2-for-1 rounds, essentially, you know, like they win 1, then they're up against like a partial buy a lot of the time.
I mean, it depends on the team. I mean, if I think SMGs and like cheaper weapons can be really good, but you need to have a plan for it. I mean, but like fighting the A ramp with 4 or 5 players with just low guns could be really successful actually. But yeah.
I like that idea. I like that, man. Because I think it's short, like the short side peak combined with like the top ramp peak, even with those SMGs, like, you know, just create chaos again, right?
Yeah.
That's quite like a a common theme when it comes to holding down this A bomb site is like the more uncomfortable you feel, the more uncomfortable they feel, and then you can try and thrive in all that chaos with things like MAC-10s, well, MAC-10's wrong, MP9, Deagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some bomb sites utility is key, not the weapon.
Well, because it feels like now as well, like this this bottom ramp smoke that used to get thrown in like all the time, I don't feel like it's as effective anymore because teams started to throw, I think it was a big smoke, you know, the one that just goes in front of it to give you like a kind of corridor. Do you guys still, are you all about that deep ramp smoke? Oh, hang on a sec, this has actually kind of gotten pretty excited. How on earth has this just happened? All right, the kind of weak buy has gotten it over the line by the looks of things. Alex is suddenly left in a 1v4 and he can't do anything. So that's the round that MIBR find. It's just this chaotic hold at B.
Yeah, that was really crazy, actually. But that's a round that gives you some confidence back, and we can win even though we have a low buy, for example.
The only worrying thing is that it's almost one of those things where, you know, you have a crappier buy, so you're not, you don't expect to win. You take more risks, you're a little bit more confident, perhaps. But how do you replicate that when you got the full gun round?
Yeah.
It's like such a different type of round. Well, they're going to go fast at least up a ramp here for Cloud9 and straight into the defense. Ooh, that's so close to taking down SHC. He goes down really low. Trey's coming through here, but great response from Yao. He is the difference maker here. A nice 2K to slow things down, but Floppy is really insane. Like his mechanics are so nuts. He really could.
Here's a jump in CT. There's a flank. That's the question mark. Floppy looking for the 1v1 now. I feel like he already knows he's being flanked. Yeah, now he can go B. Oh dear, he's done it.
Such a good play. Oh, he's going back.
Oh no. Oh no. He had the right idea. What's he thinking?
Oh.
Now, looking at CT, walking back short. It's still a good spot. Can he get in cover in time?
The timing.
Again. Twice.
Oh, he's got a molly as well.
He should know.
And now he knows.
Oh, the molly's good.
Yeah.
He's done it. 1v3.
Yeah, no
I
kid.
think so. Yeah.
Wow. Floppy has no idea.
Oh, I got the kid. Okay.
Ooh. Here we are, 1-1. The great reset.
Yeah, you guys learn much for your upcoming game. Who do you think's winning this series from face value, right? Inferno to finish.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know too much about these teams on Inferno. But I don't know. I feel like MIBR were really strong mentally, bounced back from that comeback from C9. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with MIBR for the last one.
Well, let's find out. I mean, we are going to be throwing over to a break, I think, and then we're back with the third map of Inferno, the culmination, the last team to go through to the playoffs here for CS Summit 007 in just a moment.
Intervention, because it felt like they were getting back into that game. You know, they got it so close, only to then lose out right at the very end.
Classic.
The money started to fall apart, right? And they have that one round where it's a bit of like a mishmash buy. They throw that A fake in where they actually end up on B, and you know, it just felt like, you know, their numbers were dwindling, the weapons weren't really able to hold up in those long, drawn-out fights. And I think the rotations from MIBR there, at that point in time, were really good, and it kind of gave them the confidence and the ability to get that game closed out quickly, you know, without having their money broken, without, like, it coming down to some force buy in round number 30. So that was nice to see from MIBR, at least.
Yeah, like, I was sitting watching at my desk, and I felt like MIBR played or got caught off in the gimmicky stuff that C9 did, and hopefully they will talk about it in their break, because there were so many like scenarios where one guy died and they had the site all the time, or they just made a mess out of when they didn't need to.
Yeah, I feel like the mentality is good for Cloud9. That's like one thing we can rely on in this series, right? Not just pulling the comeback in overpass, but almost doing it there from 4 rounds in the first half to making that game close. So the attitude is good. We know that, you know, on a good head on Alex's shoulders, to say the very least. So hopefully, you know, mentally Cloud9 is still in this one, but it can get pretty tiring playing a BO3. As players, how do you incorporate that, right? Like fatigue in playing long games. Do you think that affects you a whole lot?
Yeah, I mean, if you like, you have to kind of reserve your energy and know how to. You cannot get hyped all the time because, you know, you will destroy yourself in the end. And just like try to keep calm consistently throughout the match is the way to go. And if there's a very long game, and then you really need to step out of your chair and go for a walk. That's something we always do.
Good advice. Dan, how are you feeling about this third map?
I think this is, I mean, we just had the bet wheels there and it was like just totally even for both teams. I kind of feel like that. I really don't know who's going to win this game. I think MIBR surprised us a lot with how good they are coming into this tournament. And I think the same can be said for Cloud9. Alex in a completely new role, a very young team in many respects, but they've been playing really well also. And their individual level is kind of insane. So yeah, I have no idea, honestly, absolutely no idea which way this one's going to go. So it should be, I think, the perfect finish for this best of 3.
Well, we will be finishing it in just a moment. We're going to throw to a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes with this culmination and the final team to go through to the playoffs of CS Summit 007. So stick around. Inferno is coming soon. Welcome back, CS Summit 007, Golden and Giacchino here from Fnatic, as well as Harry and DDK to bring us through this last game of group stages, or last chance, I guess, right? We had the Swedes here earlier in NIP and Dig. NIP took that one as well, and now we find out who's going through to face Fnatic in the playoffs. So this is certainly a nice feeling for you guys getting to, you know, not just watch, but dive deep into the matchup that you'll be facing up against, obviously, coming up tomorrow, I imagine.
Yeah, correct.
And Inferno to do it as well. So odds are pretty split, odds are pretty close. MIBR slight favorites, but I think at this point it's kind of, you know, I couldn't make a prediction. I don't know if anyone else wants to put their life on the line and tell me who's going to win, but yeah, I don't know.
Easy for MIBR. Like I said, from the moment they were 13-2 up, there's no way they lose this series. Yeah. And yeah, you know, like, yeah, I mean, within the context of the map, don't I look like a fool, but I don't know, man. MIBR, they've got me convinced. I don't know why. I really don't know why, especially not after some of the performances we've seen. But yeah, man, no, I don't know. I like this team. I've spoke about it a lot, how, like, you know, these guys were stuck down in, like, South America while everything was kind of region locked. And so it's nice to feel like this is all building to something. And, you know, like, they're getting more chances to compete with this this old boom core internationally. I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, what must that be like, Golden, as the IGL of Fnatic now having to face them, maybe, well, I say, having to face them, maybe having to face them. Is it more of a challenge when a team's been, like, region locked, if that makes sense?
Yeah, you have more like randomness coming in from those teams, especially because you first you can watch it, but you haven't experienced it, so that's a big factor coming in. They're basically we never played against them, and they will do stuff that will surprise us and get us caught off guard. Something you can't escape.
No, that's a pretty good way of putting it, I think. Dan, how are you doing, man? I feel like I feel like you've been pretty 50-50 on this one since the beginning. Are you still feeling that?
I mean, it's gonna be a close game. I think there's a lot of factors to both of these teams that just make it very hard to predict, hard to rely on really anything. But I'm gonna lean slightly towards MIBR, so I will choose them. Ooh. But I think this is gonna be a really close game, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing a great game from Yell as well as Alex. I want both of the AWPers to be really able to kind of do their best here, and we'll see. I mean, Cloud9 did a really great job against Furia yesterday, and they on this map, and it was because they had a great CT side. So we'll have to see if they can replicate that CT side against MIBR.
Yeah, Yell's very, very audacious on the CT side of this map when it comes to AWPing down mid. I feel like we don't see as many CTs AWP, you know, fully down to the T ramp as much as they used to. But Yell, nothing stops him. And nothing's going to stop Cloud9 from hitting this B bomb site. Cello and Bolt's waiting in the wayside. Oh,
Man, this is a
Cello's so
brawl.
good.
Yeah. No, dude, Cello has been like I think in these last few games especially like the standout individual. I think him and Yell are two of the big difference makers. But this round isn't over yet, and Alex and Mezzi are showing us that, right? The two UK flag gents popping off there. Have to get that mention in at least once a series, I reckon.
Guys, my prediction, he gets 2 and dies.
Okay. Straight back on it. Straight back on that same bullshit from Golden. I love it. I love that that's what we get. Yell, let's see, man. Does the prophecy come true? Ooh, it's going to be tricky to get to.
If they don't triple swing him, he gets 2.
All right. Ooh, there's the swing. Oh, they do triple swing him. But you covered your bases there, Golden.
Yeah,
I like that, right?
play both sides, so you're always on top. Great shots from Cello, but not enough for the round.
Yeah, he has a really crisp aim. I'm not sure if he like lifts his mouse after each swipe he does with it. It looks very crisp.
So we get
Force
the
up.
force, yeah. And man, these are always dangerous on Inferno. So we'll see what Cloud9 do in their anti-force fight. Taking some initial top banana control is a nice start. We've got a stack towards the porch side, which is great normally because you can often get isolated with like an arch smoke or something when teams are defaulting. So that's one of the reasons why CTs will like to try to stack there if they want to fight top mid, as opposed to waiting for you to execute on a site. That can be a good little setup to force the action.
Yeah, I think Inferno is one of the better maps to buy to have these types of buys, because it's such, so close range. Easy to get up in their face with your pistols and SMGs.
Yeah, I agree. It's such a fun map to force buy on.
Yeah. Also, like one smoke can block an entire entryway, and you can just. That's why a lot of teams go for these types of buys with like 4 or 5 smokes, and you just rotate around and smoke off the same paths.
Yeah, it's been an approach I think we saw from maybe Astralis, like with one of the very first teams, like back before the economy changes. And that's a long time ago. I remember they would really create a lot of problems for teams like this. And now it's like such a standard approach. And I mean,
Yeah.
look at this. I mean, MIBR have wasted so much time. There's 20 seconds. If anything goes wrong, they might just lose the round here. Push does come in eventually, and there's no kind of cheeky deagle shots that lands and kind of slow things down. So it looks like they'll be okay. But that honestly feels really scary. Like, do you ever want it to be the case that you just wait out the smokes like that and have only 20 seconds, or do you feel like they should have pushed one of those top mid smokes with a flash before then?
I feel like once or twice. I feel like in a perfect game, but it's very hard. People are playing anti-flash or playing around smokes much better than before.
Yeah, the overall level of Counter Strike, it's just I can't get over it. Just year to year, it's just improved so much. Like thinking back to 2015, 2016, like back then people still didn't know really how to use grenades. It really felt like, and it's just changed so much. The level's so much higher.
I remember when, you know, Go came out and pros were complaining about Molotovs because obviously they weren't a thing in ye old days, and people saying like, oh my god, why are these in the game? Like, this is so weird. It's completely changed. But hey, they are, well, here we are, what, 8 years later, still working.
Yeah, like just like looking at like Yakinio when we approached him or when we watched his games and such on, and you could already see that like even in the tier he was playing it, they're using their utility much better than like 2016, 2015 maybe first tier like the tier 1 scene. So people are improving a lot during even the online season because they have more time on their hands finding more gimmicky stuff or making their everything consistent.
So that's like a follow-up question, I guess, to that, Golden. What if there's one thing specifically or multiple things or anything that comes to mind, like what, when you pick up Giacchino, what's the most attractive thing about him? Like why this player? Because yeah, hair, that's up there. But there's, you know, there's so many players that are so good at all levels. You know, what makes you stand out? It's just, yeah, however you want to answer that question, really.
First off, the hair.
Yeah.
+1. Yeah, same hair plus me, and like yeah, we kicked it off from there. Like no, mostly I really like the work mentality, and to approach the game, like to be better than yesterday. And I felt like it was so hard to find players in Sweden that way, and also Yakinio's happened to be very talented and good with most of the game. Like overall is knowledge and like everything from utility to positioning and understanding and taking criticism very well. It's a big factor.
Yeah.
Like he works hard, so that's the main thing for me.
It's a good
Well,
reason.
so this must be quite handy then, the fact that for players like yourself, Golden, and then also for Brolin, right, there would have been this, you know, like integrating newer players into a team that has experienced players, right? And that's a transition that you went through yourself, and then Brolin obviously had to go through. Do you think that's probably helped now at like understanding what are kind of the fundamentals to learn, most importantly, you know, like the moment you join like a tier 1 organization like Fnatic, where you're going to be playing against these tier 1 teams, because it is very, very different, isn't it, right? Like even kind of the level of like what you would say would be like tier 2 teams to tier 1, the leap is huge, and so it only gets like greater. Do you think the fact that you have guys such as yourself, obviously in the IGL position as well, with like a good understanding of how it feels to be like the new guy, do you think that helps you like at better accommodating someone like Chiquinho?
Oh yeah, like you put it perfectly. Like I've been through that road, and thanks to like JW and Crims, I learned from them, and then I learned how I approached it and how I could teach it better, and so on. Like everything playing on stage and keeping calm and such stuff. They all go like somewhere. We all have to start somewhere from the veterans, and I feel like every generation it has improved. Like every new player coming in, it's a different type of approach to that player,
Yeah.
because someone else picked up something, minor detail here and there, and you make it more. When you explain it more accurately.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a really, because I was just looking this up. I remember the first event I ever met you at was GeForce Cup 2017. You were there with Fnatic Academy, you know,
Yeah,
like
I remember that.
and Samuelson was there as well, right? So like because then I remember a few months later you went on to join Fnatic for the first time. Obviously, then you had that whole break with C9 at one point, which was an interesting development. I just find that so cool. Like, you know, this idea that you're one of these success stories that like went through an academy team to move to the main roster, and how now, you know, you're like one of the faces of Fnatic, which is just like a really cool. A cool kind of thought. I think there's a lot of like unique paths in your team, like because you've got you as one of the examples where someone actually moved from an academy team to a main team, which doesn't happen much, as weird as that is. And then obviously Brolin as well, who got in after looking really, really sick at Gamers 2, I think it was, or whatever it was called, which is just unreal. Like the kind of paths of which the players that exist in this team have gone down seem very, very unique, and there's not many examples of it out there.
No, I totally agree. Like a lot of thanks to like Fnatic and the players and people around them. Yeah, man. I feel like I feel blessed to be even playing pro CS. Like it's hard to explain, but yeah.
I mean, I can tell as well from my perspective for like the first couple of weeks that I've really noticed that the team has put a lot of effort into thinking about these types of things, like how to integrate a new player, and both inside and outside of the game, and they've been super welcoming and made me feel super comfortable so far. So I couldn't be happier.
So on the flip side of that, Jack, you know, what's some of the difficulties? What are some of the harder things maybe that you did or even didn't expect coming into Fnatic? Are there any struggles?
I mean, obviously it's hard, you know, going from one day to playing against the types of play I was playing against. Yeah, I guess Puggers, but not as professional players. And you know, so overall there's a lot of things I have to learn and that I have to adapt to. But I wouldn't say there's any like super big struggles, but there's some small things that you get punished for, especially inside of the game. But I'd say outside of the game, my approach has always been to try to, even though I wasn't at the best level, I was trying to play as if I was on the highest level. So I'd say my mindset, I've been trying to work it up to be able to play on this level. But obviously there's a lot of new things that I have to learn and adapt to.
I think that's a really good outlook to have, though, right? That feel of like playing at the highest level you're capable of, and then like aiming to improve day by day. I think that's something Golden said earlier, right? Like kind of about how you look to approach it, like you know, making sure each day is better than the next. And on top of that, I think, man, like to even get to this point, like the grind is phenomenal. You know, like just to be in a position, you know, and so it doesn't make sense to kind of let your foot off the gas now that you're here. Like this is this is like the moment, you know, to make everything of it. And so it's sick to hear that you are being supported in that, like by the Fnatic organization and the players. I'll quickly focus on this round just because, you know, I've really enjoyed the chat, but I just remembered that actually there is Cloud9 MIBR going on. Woo, look at it go.
Smoke.
Oh,
This is weird. What? He got glocked. Oh dear.
Bye.
It's all gone weird, man. It's all gone crazy at B.
Re-smoke.
Oh, but they swing with it. They swing on the back of that smoke at Banana. I like that, right? You don't let yourself get cut off. You're like, well, if he's smoking, he's got nades out. He's prime real estate, so you just eat that up. And Yell's going to have to save, man. This is it. Might not even get away. They're hunting him down. And look at the T apartments. They've actually already got someone deep to take this gun away.
The AWP Apartments hunter, of course.
AWP on AWP, and the AWP wins. Alex with it.
Why is he there?
Yeah.
This is pretty rough, actually. Again, I don't want to like read too much into that Furia game, but Cloud9 did have like a really strong CT approach in the Furia match. So this is a pretty sick start for them. And MIBR can't really stabilize their economy, which is, I mean, it just feels so awful on Inferno when you just don't have enough nades. Then you can't challenge Banana correctly, and then if the teams play really slow rounds, you don't have the utility to do it. And you have to take all of these gamble stacks because you don't have information, because you can't get information because you don't have the utility. It's just, it feels like MIBR is such. Exactly, it's just having bad economy on the CT side. It really is a problem. But MIBR and I mean, I don't know what they have planned for their next gun round, but it does feel like an adaptation, change of approach might be necessary. I think often, good place to start is understanding how the dynamic is at Banana and trying to be the winner of that map control. But one thing is that Alex calls a pretty good game as well. So it's I guess it's not so simple as to sometimes just try to adapt to what they're doing, because he's been really good at just throwing stuff in at a moment's notice to catch people off guard. So
Yeah, it's like knowing your opponent, knowing what problems you're presenting to your opponent and knowing what solutions they will do, and then using their solutions against them. We saw that yesterday in that Cloud9 game. I think it was a Cloud9 game where there's a lot of B play out of the gate for Cloud9 on the T side, and then as soon as it was Furia get guns, they immediately triple B, right, to win the banana fight, and Cloud9 just rush out apps and drop into pit because they know that that's going to be weak. So, trying to be one step ahead of your opponents, in their heads, rent free. Alex's plan right now.
yeah, for sure.
Working.
And that's the thing too, because Cloud9 got off to that good start, so they get to take the initiative, they get to condition their opponents, set the pace that they want to play, and to create that expectation. Whereas the emphasis at what times in the round. So that it is tough. It's tough. Golden, what would you be calling your MIBR? What do you want to see?
I feel like they should take banana, or like just to see if they're gonna throw stuff back at him, and then play more heavy mid, because they've kept double Molotoving or Molotoving, or sorry, they've been going slow or taking the mid control. So either they just smoke off long again, and they'll buy themselves even more time, because Cloud9 has been smoking it off very late, and they could make it more time crunchy. Because right now, Cloud9 has been going to a side at 20 seconds or 30 seconds. They could that could play into their hands. They could use it because Cloud9 is playing much slower paced, and they're taking their time. So be more confident with your nades. Don't use them too early, and use them well. I feel like that could help them make the Cloud9 players more stressed out in pushing the sites.
I had I got a tweet from one of our Brazilian viewers, and he had a question for you, Jaquinho. He was wondering, why do you call yourself Jaquinho? Because he says in Brazil, when you put an Inho in the end, it means little. So your name there would be Little Jack. Is it a similar meaning, or?
No, actually, so like I told you before, when I was younger, I was my dream was to become a professional football player.
Right, of course. Now I see the link in already.
My favorite player was Felipe Coutinho, and my coach would call me Jaquinho.
There we go.
I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even make the football link, but the moment you said it, I'm like, oh, no, it actually makes a lot of sense already. No, I like that, man. I like knowing the reason behind names. Golden's obvious, man. It's because he's 24-karat bowler, so that one just makes a lot of sense from the get-go.
You're building me up so much.
Oh, this pace.
This is a great round to call.
Oh, and they're just on the long side, caught out of position, running through a motor smoke. Like, let's get there quick. Well, Cloud9, they're already deep.
Yeah,
now they're hunting.
Exactly. This round was perfectly timed because they played so slow, then they threw MIBR off guard.
Yeah, I mean, even if they followed your advice that you said, just say your nades, then they come rushing at you and you don't use your nades, then you have to. That's why you have to be prepared for everything, and that's why I said use them well. What was the term again? I saved myself from saying that. It's like the prediction. The curse.
Like the curse.
Yeah.
No, but like I put a...
Jinxed it.
I saved the guard in case I didn't get correctly.
Oh, you hedged your bets.
Yeah.
Hedging. Yeah, it's
hedging bets is a tricky topic to talk about nowadays, Dan. I would. We don't want to make the game stop. That's the last thing we want. Hey, there's the link in, everyone. Ooh, we've done it. Cloud9 up 6-2. tactical pause as well. You know, pretty good show. Like I say, good show. A lot of restraint. I feel like in when these tactical pauses are called in. I think Vertigo was like a real sign of that, right? We were like what, like 12 rounds deep or something, and MIBR were getting it handed to them at one point in time. When
Other way around.
Yeah,
right?
sorry, that's it. No, that sounds
Yeah,
right.
this series has been crazy.
Yeah, it's
Harry,
so
don't
back and
blame
forth,
you.
man. I don't. What even happened on Overpass?
Yeah, it
I'm
was
still
like-
not over it, man. I
it wa-
still can't believe that was a like 13-2 half.
It was like 10-2 before Cloud9 pulled out
That's the one.
a pause on CT side Vertigo. So
There's still some time for MIBR, but yeah, it is worrying that like I think is like we were talking about. We had that like I think at 125, the whole team's running up porch into sight, and it's like they just completely have predicted that MIBR were not going to be anticipating that kind of a timing. And we've been talking about Alex and how he's calling like with pacing and how that's been like a huge feature of his philosophy so far in this tournament is playing with pace to really throw off his opponents, and it's working really nicely here so far. Oh, that's brilliant. Great timing shot off the flashbang, and maybe with that, even though the equipment is pretty poor for MIBR, that could slow down Cloud9 quite a lot. That seems to be possibly one of the errors that they've been making, but I'll hold that thought for now because we might just get a challenge here. Molly to take Yell off the angle, allowing Top Banana control. Cloud9 don't have any apps presence, so it kind of feels as though this is just going to be go B at this point.
yeah, he's very wide. Does a trade come in here, or does he re-aggro and catch players throwing nades? Oh, missed shot. That's nothing. He doesn't even have cover. Cello's dead immediately. Yell re-aggro's the flash again, pushing him back. He goes in for more. Oh, he knows he only has so many shots. Getting trapped in New Box, there is a death sentence. The molly went in. He had to fight, and he gets nothing from it. 4v3, bomb planted, save for MIBR.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing if Yell misses those shots because they'll at least save the Kevlar and the M4 now. But I think if he hits like one or two of those shots, they will try for the retake. Although they don't have a kit, so maybe not. But yeah, that's it doesn't look like Yell's on right now, and that's definitely a problem. He needs to be on. Kind of feels like we want to, like I would want to see MIBR trying to find ways to take more initiative. It would be even cool to see some kind of apps, like aggressive apps setup or something like that. Ooh, what just happened there?
He dies, no?
Yeah, so I was wondering during the online era where coaches are obviously talking a lot more than usual. How are you guys approaching that? Because I know that some of these teams are trying to have their coach talk less so that when LAN does come back, you know, it feels more like normal, right? And like, you know, you're not having like this kind of sick voice talking all the time and helping out. And on top of that, you know, what do you guys use the tac pauses for during online play? Is it more to like take a breather and be able to kind of talk in depth about what's going on? Because I imagine that would be a bit hectic doing that in like a mid or end of round kind of scenario.
Yeah, everything from like taking the time out to call around, or if someone made a sick clutch just to calm the nerves, or you know, just to break the momentum.
Yeah.
And also, our coach doesn't speak a lot during matches because mostly, yeah, when he speaks is to just calm the players down and not give like too much or take too much of the communication going on, you know. I feel like that's our team. I mean, we don't have a problem with anything regarding the coaching thing.
That's good to hear. Definitely, like I feel like the whole thing with coaches in general has always been a bit difficult to work your way around. But MIBR, just to change topic for a second, picking up their first rounds, they did actually go with an app setup, so I feel very proud of myself right now. And this could be the start, guys. This is where the comeback starts to happen.
Quick shout out, Dan.
I just need to keep calling for them. That's all.
Yeah, no, man, I love it, dude. If that's the solution, MIBR added DDK as a.
Hey, going back to the app setup as well with Yell with the AWP, I think it is a nice way to try to take some initiative here because they haven't really been able to just sit back and take the defaults. They need to take initiative. And actually, see, why is it good timing there? Takes down Floppy. Now the question is, you got the 5v4. How do they want to play it from this point? You want to try to predict what?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that damn.
Okay.
That's a good boost. I like it.
Oh, good luck getting away though. The spray is in, not connecting, actually spamming the wall. But he does some damage on the way out. That's a lovely little play for MIBR. They used 2 smokes in that boost, just waiting.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
and
that was really nice.
it's so important that SHD gets to kill top mid because that's what sent Cloud9 back as well to Banana. They didn't feel like they could keep pushing there.
Yeah,
So
because if
suddenly-
he dies, there's only 2 on A, yeah.
It's now it's like MIBR, or rather Cloud9 just dancing to MIBR's music instead for once.
Yeah, and I like the MIBR positioning right after they got the kill. The guy jumped to second and before he boosted the guy CT.
It cleared.
That's kind of brutal,
And that
isn't it?
backfired.
Nice
That's
position.
the
Yeah.
How much is Cloud9 paying you?
Yeah, this is crazy. Oh, hang on a
Oh, wow, come
second.
on.
Okay.
We're right back in. Don't worry, Golden
Done.
was right all along.
How
This
many
is
does
it.
he get?
No, I predicted that the boost was perfect for this. For this to happen. No,
And
no.
now Alex wins his clutch.
Oh,
Oh, we got the Jaquinho prediction. We don't get many of them. That's a treat. That's a treat. Let's tuck into it, Alex. He's got Fnatic believing. But does he believe in himself? That's the big question. Oh, he lets them cross, and now back in with the swing. It's a little wide and a missed shot. That's all it takes. It's close, but it's no
God,
cigar.
These games are so back and forth. The same.
Oh,
with
I'm
Diego.
not sure he got it. I actually don't think he got it.
oh, Shakino got it right. Golden got it
Yeah, I
right.
thought-
Calculated.
Yeah, never even worried.
Yeah.
Oh.
Always believing.
Oh, that feels really bad. I feel like they
Yeah.
really deserve that. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too. Like they did everything so good, but it didn't work out for them.
I mean, the same what happened on Vertigo, right? That A fake, and then they went B and they still lost the after plan. This game is really back and forth. It's a good game.
Oh, that is such a heartbreaking round to lose. Especially oh man. Well, I mean, we had some good stuff from MIBR there. I'm sure that they can keep that going. They've been taking more initiative. They've been kind of proactive with it, as opposed to being so reactive. I think if they keep that trend up, it's going to be good. I'm not sure exactly what next they would want to change, because you don't want to just do these apps setups and banana setups every single round. So
Yeah.
ooh, looks like we might get a faster round possibly for Cloud9. Going past the smoke. Ooh, almost. 2 more smokes for MIBR. Would have been cool if Cloud9 had a Mac 10, a player with a Mac 10 in a round like this, just to get that information, lurk somewhere.
Oh, all right, Alex. All right, guy. Using the AWP, putting it to good use, and that Molotov was great as well, just to force the fights from the half wall. Good read, right? Knowing that the money's low and MIBR might be attempting something cheeky at top banana. And so now 2 players over towards B for MIBR. Cloud9 just still aren't moving, man. And I like that. They've already been rewarded for this patience. They know the pressure is more on MIBR's shoulders than it is on theirs. And so they're just seeing what MIBR offer up. They get that trade there. And now the round should be a lock-in, right? You're 4v2. You're not at all worried about it. It's Deagles on the other side. One of these players is low. And they're actually, they don't care so much. They're so unworried that they're pushing both bomb sites at the same time. They're going to, I imagine, go back to A with the bomb, but it shouldn't matter either way. It should just be a lock-in. So there it is. 9 on the board for C9. And a good little patient round, right? Just waiting to see what the pistols are willing to give away and then playing off the back of it.
Key round here for MIBR, right? If they don't want to get completely dumpstered in this map, they need to do something now. Orb going for banana fight. Alex is here. CT smoke down, but there was no T Molotov. So Yell can't really get much of a vision. He's still sitting here. The nades are coming in. There's the peek off the flash. Can't get a kill. And you could see on his cam, he was looking away, you know, to see if he got the frag, either another monitor or at the top of his screen. Fully blinded, no idea, but he didn't get anything. And this is now a very dangerous round. Cloud9 in banana. MIBR swapping the AWP out at B.
Yeah, Cloud9 has kept winning the utility fight on banana and is putting MIBR in a big disadvantage every round, seems like.
They could just flat out execute right now. There's very little to stop them. No utility.
Yeah, you have to have some 6 shots. Watch more kills.
Oh, so tough. There is some retake utility and some kits and so on, so could be on. There's no post-pop positioning except the site right now and banana, so that does give MIBR a chance to move in with a couple of Molotovs that they have if they've got some good lineups for those. There is 5 players though. This is it's so hard. It's all their money. Yell has an AWP as well.
Yeah, they should save.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a hard call though to make, I guess, for MIBR. They don't want to do it, and Boss will get 1 at least.
Nope.
There's a molly for Paul. That'd be great, but it's too late for any of that.
Yeah, this is one of the problems of going for or not going for it. You sometimes get into like between going or not going for it, and that is the worst part you can be in. And that's exactly what happened down the round. You always want to avoid those. You want to make the call very clear. If I get one, we go for it. If I don't, just be ready to leave. They
Yeah,
try
well,
to yeah.
I guess they got the first and then immediately traded. So that
Yeah.
never makes it easy.
And there were 2 guys in CT spawn as well.
Yeah, Yell was low from the banana nades earlier. He was just sat back waiting for re-peaks. Cloud9 not giving away anything though. 10 rounds, man. 10 rounds. MIBR are going to need to be the ones pulling a comeback in this map.
Mate, if I've learned anything from this series, it's that the first half is just for show. Okay, like that's the game really begins in the second half, and that's where all the wildness starts to happen. This is a really nice lead though from Cloud9. I think they've been approaching the game well. You know, like they don't overstep the boundaries on like the anti-eco or like, you know, weak buy rounds from MIBR. So they've never really found anything. They've constantly just been breaking MIBR's money, and you've really kind of felt, you know, in some of these rounds where the utility runs out at B, that there is just no hope. And you know, you're looking at them setting up and you're thinking, well, if someone doesn't go huge and like get a multi-kill here, this is probably a Cloud9 round. They're just kind of playing it like nice and safe and by the numbers. And you know, it's not giving us any of these like crazy explosive moments or anything like that, but it is winning them all these rounds, and that's the important part.
Yeah, and just being able to get like top mid so easily, and I don't think MIBR, I mean, y'all might be able to find a timing here. That would be really awesome to get a pick at this point. Also, more importantly than even a pick is kind of getting the info as to like what is Cloud9 actually using top mid for, because if they're just using it to just create some pressure, then they need to know that and know that the intention is B, for example, so they can get the rotate in. Right now, you got just waiting for a push, but Yell should have this, absolutely does. And again, his teammates are there, they have the stack, they see that there's no more players really there in that position, so they can get the rotate to B. So right now, MIBR might be ahead unless Cloud9 go instantly here. And it looks like they may just walk in. This is actually perfect from C9 for the timing. There's a trade as well. The smoke goes down, so they have control of the site now. It's down a man, but they've done a really good job here.
All the boost up. Lots of damage done though, floppy low. Retake is on, orbs posted. Alex just misses that timing, but if anything, it keeps him alive for longer. A repeat could cost him. We got this flanking spawn as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing the discipline. Mezzi. They line up. Double down. And that might just be the round in the palm of Cloud9's hand. Final kill to find Mezzi. Doesn't matter who gets it.
By Mezzi. Yeah, well played. Well played, Cloud9.
The funny thing is that wasn't this the scorelines on the first map, but the other way around?
It was 13-2 for MIBR, first map. Second map was 11-4 for MIBR.
Okay, so the MIBR comeback then, just for the poetic justice. That's what I'm going for.
I don't know, mate. They couldn't close a 13-2, so I don't know if they can close a 3-11. We'll have to see. Bad to worse. Oh my, it's just B hit after B hit. I feel like Cloud9 haven't got A in 6 rounds.
Mid-aggression.
Oh, bye.
Well, that's nice and clean. That's nice and easy. Cloud9, 12-3. And now we see, can MIBR complete the same feat we saw from Cloud9 on that first map, or is this a Cloud9 2-1? Join us after the break to find out.
Well,
Traded.
Look.
Oh.
Look, Golden, frankly, if we're inviting you to the casting desk, you have to invite us to the server, okay?
Ooh,
so
that's
Harry wants to debut. He wants an HLTV
yeah, man.
profile, so
I think
sub him in.
I think there's already a Harry that plays for Swedish teams that's actually doing all right, but
Yeah, it sounds fair.
Right, so look at this. We're 12-9. Cloud9 are in the lead, and nothing could possibly go wrong to change that. We're really trying to throw as many curses onto this as we got. You know, we've got Curse King Golden in the house as well here, repping this comeback, or I guess repping the Cloud9 victory for it to work. Let's see what pans out, because it's Floppy getting that opener, and they're trying to bait him into Mezzy. Mezzy does kind of jump the gun on the peak. They might have heard that. They should know that. I mean, it was at the same time the flash popped, right? So I'm not certain yet. I like this bait and switch. I'm curious to see how much it gets away with.
Oh, the drive-by.
Is that allowed? is that okay? I don't think that's supposed to happen. It's
Now
like
they
running
molly
and spamming a
sandbags.
USD. What is this, Valorant? What's going on?
I feel like you can't run in that game, man. Everyone's like glued to the floor.
I don't know, man. Running and shooting was a very, very big issue that people were having, right?
Still good.
It was pretty nutty. I've seen some of the clips from it. But, you know, I try to avoid Valorant clips wherever I can. No offense, Dan.
Harry.
Look at this. S-Tag watching for the walk across. Cloud9 onto 13. Didn't mean to just start some, like, warfare between games. Now it's just an eco for MIB. This actually should be the GG for once. Like, this should be a clean victory if the Counter-Strike gods are permitting, right? But they work in weird ways, do the CS gods. We never know how this is going to end up. We got a little force buy coming in for MIBR. What's a good force call if you got this many smokes? Were you thinking like a fake to get thrown in and hoping that they over-rotate or something? I don't really know. That.
I mean, screw the nades. Just do that. Nah, it'd be good to like smoke off top banana, just not letting me having them the control, or to see if someone is in banana.
Oh, a lot of info off the mid peak though. Mezzy caught moving away. Shuz chases him and back